I've talked to Monica, like we talk offline. I plan to meet Monica this year, and there's she doesn't have a malicious racial bone in her body. She just does not. She absolutely doesn't feel that way. She, I think that she's just become obsessed with this topic and feeling like, oh my goodness.
Oh shit, Mojo!
Look!
In the fucking house!
Look, he's here. What up, Mojo?
I have a busy day planned. I just wanted to come in, say good morning to the lovely ladies of the Muff, as well as the gentlemen of the Muff.
That's right.
Thank you, kind sir.
How you doing?
Hey, Rob, the people was questioning yesterday whether women should be modded in the Muff. And it struck me that, like, who can moderate the Muff better than a woman?
Well, listen, I know my way around the Muff pretty well myself, and, yeah, no, ladies belong in the Muff. It's, yeah, anyways.
That's right. Men wouldn't moderate the Muff at all. It would be Muff all day long.
Muff all day long. The Muff would be worn out if it was up to me. 5 minutes at a time.
Well, I wanted to say hi.
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, some of my favorite people in here, on the stage.
Oh,
and in
thank
the
you.
audience. Yeah.
You just missed Scarlett too, my dear. Like, she's going to start her Cracker Jack room in the hall.
I don't even know what that means, but I might have to say hi to her. I might have to give her some heart emojis and make her feel weird.
I'm so happy you popped in.
Yeah, no, hey, popping in the Muff is kind of my thing.
Hey, we like a good Muff popping.
Oh man. Well, anyways, I just wanted to give a little shout out to all my friends. We've got the driver, we got Wallace, we got Mana holding it down in Hawaii, and you got Howard, my good friend. We got Joss. We even got Mojo Vibrations, a nice little nod. Hopefully that's the Congressman candidate Kitover down there. Oh wow, look at him. Hey, I think he's gonna outperform expectations. That's my prediction.
Here's the thing. We had to add a little disclaimer to the House rule page. Often imitated, never duplicated, the original trademarked in the Muff, because the Congressman's got his own little in the Muff.
Aw. Well, he listen, let him do his thing. He's running a campaign. We don't want to interfere with his effort to listen. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's $37 trillion worth of debt. There's $100 trillion of unfunded liabilities. Who's going to fight that fight if you don't elect him?
Right. Well, we've definitely been giving the candidates some stage time for sure.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Speaking of stage time, I'm going to go. I'm gonna get going here. I'll let you guys enjoy your stage time, but I truly do love all of you, and it's good to see you.
What a tease. You too.
Have a great day. Shout out to Stephen Bader in the audience. He's a cool dude. You guys should bring him up. I like him.
Yep.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Aww.
That was unexpected, but very pleasant.
Yes. He's been checking in every day, but yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen him come into an open room, so woohoo. I'm glad for it. I hope it's an indication that, the dust is starting to settle. Y'all brace yourselves for the, same old political rivalries. Dems bad, conservatives worse.
What did I miss? I missed it. What did I?
The owner of the house just popped in. We hadn't seen him in a few days, so it was good to see him. For sure.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in over a week.
Yep. Well, he was on vacation for like last week, Hakima. But he's been back since like last Friday. Ooh. Have y'all seen any notifications on this Scarlet's room? I haven't. Mr. Kitover.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing?
I'm breathing. I am alive.
Happy to hear it. Happy to hear it.
I wondered if Roger was a character of John Kitover. There was no Roger. He was just a character of John Kitover. How fascinating would that be? That would be one hell of a twist, wouldn't it?
Plot twist.
What's interesting is, like, I'm not getting the negative feedback from doing a Roger impersonation by Big Mojo.
Well, because you're identifying as the character, not the person.
Well, see, everybody gets conditioned by Mojo or by Roger. Everybody gets conditioned by. So what I'm saying is, obviously, there's no such person as Mojo.
Right.
But I'm just saying, anybody could be a Mojo. Anybody could be Roger. You know, Roger Mayhem. Like, because it's not a real person.
You stole my mojo, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the new rules state, there's always the original. You can have a lot of imitators.
That's right.
Everybody knows that voice is the Mojo / Roger Mayhem
Yeah.
persona.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Bader, I wish you would come up and say hi. Oh.
So I was listening to Dr. Jordan last night. Somebody was asking him for like a psychological analysis of somebody, and it was so funny because I was waiting for him to say narcissism or narcissist, and he said it within like the first sentence.
That's actually, I told you I had a question I wanted to ask Dr. J. I wanted to ask him about narcissistic love bombing. It's been on my list for a while. And I wanted to ask last night, but it really wasn't topical to what they were discussing, so I kept it to myself. But I wanted to hear his expertise on narcissistic love bombing.
I would like to hear it too. That whole love bombing thing is interesting. I would love to hear Dr. Jordan talk about it. If it's the same or not.
I sent him an invite, but I don't know. He might not be able to come up right now.
He's probably in the gym right now, more than likely, knowing Dr. Jordan.
Yeah, he was on late last night. But it's out there, Dr. J. When you get a minute, I would love to hear your expertise on the topic. All right, well,
This is
I guess
Mojo. Welcome back, everybody, to In the Muff. It's been a difficult week because I've had I don't want to go down. I don't want to discuss that. I'm just saying that welcome back, everybody, to the In the Muff.
wait.
Hey, John, you do a better point than you do a Rogers.
Yeah, your point is on point.
Yeah, that it would be funny to create a point account, like a cartoon account. I also think these baby accounts are very funny, like Baby Pepe, Baby Monica, Baby JB.
Yeah.
Like, baby accounts are very funny.
Yeah, and I've seen them in the room at the same time. I think it's a couple people actually playing on the whole.
I haven't heard nothing about it. Tell me, what's with this baby account?
There's a Baby Pepe. They used like AI to make a Baby Pepe. There's a Baby JB. The BJB current has his nickname Monica, but that's the Baby JB. They'll show up together and do a little chat warrioring, but they don't ever come up on stage and talk.
So nobody knows who's doing it now.
Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody's who's doing it. They're a little provocative. Yeah. And yeah, they use like AI generated baby faces for their characters, but it's amusing. It's somebody, at least one of them, I was already following, and I didn't follow the baby account, so someone changed their name. I just don't know who.
I'm thinking about making a Baby Pepe account and then going into his rooms and then being like, "Hey, it's me, Baby Pepe," you know, and like fucking with him. But
I've heard so many people attribute the point account to you, and I'm like, no. They were both in the room at the same time, both off mute, talking over each other. There is no way Kitover pulled that one off.
Hey, Senator Dippy, I heard the same thing you heard, but I'm still not convinced.
What?
I think John is that talented that he got like some even tone voice. I am not convinced.
See, I've heard that rumor about him being point for a long time, because like I've heard people rattle off the names of his accounts, and they always include point. And after that,
I'm on TV and you're all stupid people.
After that room where the two of them were just, I was just like, hey, they're the same people. It's just not possible. Maybe I'm underestimating Kitover, but
You're just jealous
like,
because I'm on television.
it's not.
I'm on television. You're not. You're stupid. I'm on television and you're just complaining that I'm on TV. Stupid dummy.
Isn't that the point voice? I mean, is he proven that he's point, or what's going on? Is he just trying to mock point to this person?
No, he's mocking.
He's mocking. I'm on TV right now, dummy.
One day in the muff, they were both on stage. They were both off mute, screaming at each
I
other.
remember that,
in that voice.
And that's the day that convinced me that they're the same person. I don't know.
I pre-recorded the point, and I was yelling at my recording dummies. I'm on TV right now.
Hey, John, you are definitely point. You should have been rich in the fact that you can pull it off. Like you are definitely point.
Right? No freaking way.
It's obvious. I'm a gay white man pretending to be a black woman. Duh, dummy. I'm on TV right now. You're just upset about it.
Look at talented. If you're not, you are just one talented dude. This fascinating.
I don't know, Hakima, I've definitely seen worse on this app.
I'd be like, point clearly got a fake voice. How you mock a fake voice and get it that right there? Like, I'm not banned. I'm not.
I don't know. Like I said, I'd have bought into it potentially had I not seen it for myself.
I think he got pre-recorded this stuff in the other voice so they can talk at the same time. That's my conspiracy. He got pre-recorded statements in Quinn's voice.
I don't know if you've ever, like, I've been in a room where somebody thought they were being a sneaky squirrel and streaming it elsewhere. And, like, when you have two phones within a reasonable proximity and they're both off mute, you get this atrocious feedback. Like, this ringing, this ear-piercing ringing.
I bet John has to figure that out. I bet he figured that problem out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just mute up. You don't let it make an audio circuit. Let's go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the psychotic genius of Kima.
Yes, and that proves that he should be Congressman because he's definitely a genius. We need a genius in the fucking in Congress.
I'm gonna have
We like 435 members short at this point.
I'm gonna have Point call Congressman LaHood's office and complain about his AIPAC money in Israel, and then we'll create a room and say, Point calls Congressman LaHood.
That would be
Committing genocide, you big dummy.
I love it.
Why'd you get all that APAC money? Why do you have to commit genocide, you big stupid dummy?
Now come on, Sarah Dippin. You can be for real. That is the point. Be for real.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time with the technical difficulties. If I had, Kima, I would be right there with you if I hadn't seen it live.
And I saw it live, and I still believe it.
There, we
there.
I would bet anything that he can change his PTR and go into politically correct. They wouldn't never know. I would bet on that.
I don't know, Kitover, will you share your deep, dark secrets with us and answer the point controversy and let us know if you're both? Are you that
What's the
diabolical?
point? What's the point?
What's the
I'm on
point?
TV and you're not. Everyone just hates me because I'm on TV. And I'm famous, and I make a lot of money doing it. Big stupid dummies.
I don't know, Kima. Oh no.
I don't want to say I'm driving. Just stop for a minute. Give me like 10 minutes off the car. Give me one.
Genocide in Gaza. Big stupid dummy.
Yeah, I'm 100% convinced now. There's no question that it's hilarious. It's hilarious to me, John. You know what? You are a master. You're a genius of the mind.
Well, most people don't know that I'm actually just a white guy pretending to be a black woman and I'm gay, but I don't know, everybody's so angry with me all the time because they're just a bunch of big stupid dummies and I'm on TV.
See, does Point ever acknowledge that he's the white guy pretending to be a black woman? I don't think Point ever gives that.
No.
Point never defends anything. Point will go along with anything you say. Yeah, I'm that, whatever. Like, it's weird. I'm so weird. I'm in tears right now. I can't even see. Like, I understand.
Yeah, Point is a character. He called me broke one day and said, he's like, you're broke and you don't wanna listen to my stocks. I was like, what the fuck? He said, yo, we wasn't even talking, and he went in there and went off on everybody. I'm convinced that's Point talking though. I think he got a burner phone.
Well, Kitover, you got them all convinced. You're the sweetest sound in the world. Listen to us.
But before I created Point, there was Tiffany Sotheby. Tiffany Sotheby was the star of Clownhouse for 2 weeks. Then they committed genocide against Tiffany Sotheby and they killed her. Because Tiffany was a big stupid
Oh my goodness.
Tiffany, in the muff is shadow ban.
Huh?
It's shadow ban.
For what? What happened here?
Because of the muffin in the title?
No, I don't know.
I see it in the hallway. Is it because I'm in here?
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I have to type in the muff to search for the room, and then when I see the live room, I click it.
Oh wow.
Clubhouse is just jealous that I'm on TV. Rohan is such a big stupid dummy.
No, it's in the hallway.
You're just paranoid, Anne. As usual.
Oh my gosh, I love her. She is so funny, that troll. She's the best.
Wait,
Yeah.
it's John.
John Kitover is funny.
Stop it, really?
Yeah.
What do you
He's been confirming it now on the stage. He's doing the voice. We started suspecting it recently, and he just pretty much confirmed it without confirming it, because he's doing her voice, and it's so accurate.
Yeah. Wow.
Go ahead and give John his flowers.
Yes. I don't know who's better, him or Travis.
Travis was
That,
like,
that's
his characters were next level.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Travis was so good.
really good.
Yep. Love them. And he never waffled. Like, he never broke character.
He didn't. I liked when he had like multiple characters on stage and would be arguing with each other.
Yes. In one of our, in one of our Don't Shoot the Messenger rooms one night, he came in as Judy, and one of the questions was, can you rap? And as Judy sang a whole rap song on stage, it was fucking hysterical. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard.
Oh my gosh, derisive.
Yeah.
Yay.
Morning, derisive.
No.
We were just talking about Travis's characters.
Travis? Oh, Travis, the gay guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His Judy character, she was the best. He killed Judy, though. What are you doing today, Derisive?
I had a headache this morning. I'm going to get coffee. It's beautiful. It's like 72 something. I'm trying to spend the day outside.
Yeah, it's really pretty here today, too. I don't think we're quite that low, but I don't think we're going to get much over 80. And you missed Mojo. Mojo came in this morning.
Good. What the heck? And he sniffed out again?
Just wanted to compliment how beautiful your ladies are.
Thanks, Mojo Vibrations.
Especially Monica. She's super beautiful. Monica's the most beautiful woman in the whole wide world. When God created the rose in the Garden of Eden, he was thinking of Monica.
Is that right?
Well, maybe the thorns part.
Not too much on mine now.
I mean the flower. The red
That's
part.
right. Those beautiful little petals.
I brought up yesterday in the room that Hakeem donated to the campaign to elect Kitover so he could kick Monica to the goo, and that upset a lot of people.
Tell him to get over it.
That room was so funny. I was not expecting her hyperbolic. He touched me. He touched me. Don't touch me.
That was one of the best clubhouse moments. Definitely.
Oh my God, that was so funny. He touched me without my consent.
It's very funny.
Go ahead, John.
It's very funny how a room, like somebody polarizing comes in, takes over the room, but then somebody else like inverts that person's, takeover. It's like Clubhouse. There's never a dull moment because it always flip-flops.
Yeah. In most rooms, for sure. You don't ever know how things are going to turn upside down and go sideways. People are very unpredictable.
I don't know. I think now that we've been on the app for so long that it's too predictable now.
Do you?
Yeah. Like everyone does the same.
I would say I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised by a lot of the actions of a lot of the people, but the way that like the most obscure thing causes it to suddenly go sideways, I'm always like scratching my head like, really? Really? This is what we're doing now? I don't know.
Well, it's very predictable in the sense that people just repeat their patterns.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely do.
But it's, like you could go to Uncle Steve's atheist room right now and people make their little like Sunday morning soliloquies and they get their little 5 minutes of preaching and then a lot of people leave. That's what always kind of annoys me, if like Otis comes up, like he'll get his 5 minutes and then he'll just leave. Like he's not interested in hearing what other people have to say. People just want to get their injection of dopamine and then leave.
Yeah.
I never understood people to do that. I see people do that in another room. They'll come in, say what they got to say, and just leave. Like what kind of empty person are you that you just want to just spew your shit and don't want to hear nothing else somebody got to say? Then do it day after day and think the shit is okay. Like nobody, if you don't want to hear what I got to say, I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say. That shit is just weird.
Yeah, another one that's really good at that is Diogenes. He likes to get up on stage, be very theatrical, hyperbolic, and then bounce. That's why I get irritated because he tends to grandstand and after 15 minutes of listening to him, as soon as anybody wants to say anything, he's gone. It's like, oh, why do I have to subject myself to 15 minutes of listening to this shit?
There's a recital.
Yeah.
If you realize that someone already knows, then you can tell them.
I don't know, I think it's like identity projection where you come in, you do your recital of your core tenant beliefs about how Orange Man is bad and about how there's structural white racism and white supremacy. I mean, this is the recital and there's a lot more involved. And then, thank you, I am complete. And then you leave. It's like, what was the point of that? Like, nobody's even capturing what you're saying. And I mean, people just repeat the same thing every time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I liked in the Muff when we read a book that day, because that was like the first time we've ever come together to collectively break the trans spell.
Right.
With a new trans spell, but you know.
Well, with the Orange Man bad and systemic racism cult kind of people, they tend to all share the one true correct opinion. So there's no point in hearing out others, because any other opinion that deviates from that is, the singular source of evil in this world.
For the record, both those things are true. The Orange Man is bad, and there is the thing but the people that believe that are not the only kind of people that do that. They do what we're talking about. People across the spectrum do that same shit. So like, don't just put it on Orange Man bad people. But for the record, he is bad.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's a valid point, because it's gotten worse than ever in the sense that there's Orange Man bad people, and then there's Trump is the singular and unique source of all evil, every issue in this world, no matter how seemingly disparate or unrelated. That has increased in the last 6 months, I would say.
Well, no, so sure. I hear Obama bad, even though he's been out of office for a decade. I still hear the Biden did this, and you still hear that. So like, don't act like it's just.
Well, those.
We heard for 4 years that Biden is dying, this, Biden fucked up this, and people still do it. Trump still do it to this day. That's what shit go wrong. He gotta blame that shit on Biden or Obama. He still does it today. So for a regular person to do it, I don't see why you're shocked when he does it himself.
Well, we weren't wrong.
Joe Biden is dying.
All the claims that we made as Republicans, and y'all call us conspiracy theorists, all of those things have come to be true. So
No, what we're trying.
Biden is dying.
What we're trying to point out.
He's 163 years old.
What we're trying to point out is that people repeat their pattern. And so we're kind of doing the pattern dance again. What I'm trying to say is, if I was a gay black man and, I came on here and I did my recital, my point is, like, how do you break the spam? Because it's just repetition. Nobody wants a duplicate.
You break it by actually talking about it, opposed to like everybody do the whataboutism. Like if I say something about Trump, what about Biden or vice versa? Like so we never get to the actual issue, because we're always going back and forth. Like, unless people like, there's genuine conversations don't really exist. There's always people trying to win the argument. When everybody trying to win opposed to actually come to the conclusion, we always gonna get stuck in the same place. You gotta realize, politicians, it's not your favorite football team. It's not like my side won and your side lost. No, this is about the country. Like if your side won and your guy is a piece of shit and he's gonna fuck the country up, then no, you didn't win. We all lost. Not saying that about Trump. I say about Trump or Biden, but like that's the mentality people have. Like if you're rooting for a football team, no matter what, you're gonna root for your team. That's dangerous.
Okay, I have a question to you then, and I think everything you said is correct, but just to put that to the test, can you name one thing that Trump has done that is good?
Yeah, closing the border, 100%.
Okay. All right, I commend you.
But just so you know, I'm not a Democrat though. I hate Biden. I hate Obama. I hate Trump. I hate Bush. I hate both sides.
Oh, okay. All right. Can't argue with that.
What's next? solve the world's problems.
In 5 minutes.
Narcissist, right? In 5 minutes. One at a time.
People call me, but
Narcissistic love bombing all over them.
engage with them if they want to. I'm not afraid.
You might get in trouble with that title.
Right?
You gonna get pulled into the nonsense.
I didn't put that title in there.
Oh,
He asked me, "Are you a robot?" I said,
But I am top left. Let's just take that out. We would not want to inadvertently get caught up in hallway driving.
Catch some stray bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually think AI would pick that up and interpret that?
What, the narcissistic love bombing
All over the map, yeah.
all over the lunch?
Mima is
I
here.
don't even think 7/8 of the
Hi, Mima.
Clubhouse audience would be able to pick that up and understand it. Clownhouse. That's what I meant.
Let's just, there we go. There we go.
Besides, don't knock it until you try it.
Oh my God. I mean, we're in enough. Hakima just said he's not liberal, though. Hakima doesn't like the Dems either. You were a big RFK fan, weren't you, Hakima?
Yeah, I'm a third party voter most of the time. I voted for Kamala this time because I just can't take Trump, but I'm a third party voter for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry you wasted your vote.
Me and 70-some million others, so it's
Right. Bima? How'd you get down there? How'd you get down there? I mean, this room's really winding down. Will, how'd you get down there?
Oh, I did down.
Oh, did you?
I shouldn't have a mod badge. This is you shouldn't have a loaded gun on us.
At least you're honest.
he disarmed himself.
I don't know if that makes me trust him more.
I know. It definitely makes me trust him more.
Yeah, you almost got to trust him more for that.
Yeah. Don't trust people on Clubhouse, y'all.
I had a crazy experience. I made grandma her lunch, and we had some fresh strawberries. And then I'm sitting out with the chickens, right? And I see, my rooster. He's close to me. So I flick a piece of strawberry at him for him to eat it. He goes down and I guess he smells it. I don't know what chickens do. But then he lifts his head up and he does like this call. And all of the baby chickens and all of the moms, the hens, rush over to the spot where the strawberry is, right? And they're all like fighting over, oh my God, damn, I'm gonna have to flick more strawberries. So I slowly start flicking more pieces of strawberry towards the ones that, didn't have one. And slowly all the hens got one, and then all the babies got one. And would you know it, you could say that this is coincidence. I think that this was something much more grand. The rooster, Big Red McGraw, didn't take a piece of that strawberry until everybody had a damn piece of strawberry. No, I know that because
I follow a lot of
On the clubhouse
course,
streets.
ranchers and stuff, breeders and whatnot. And one of the ranchers, he's got shit tons of chickens and stuff. His rooster does the same thing, like he films it all the time. His rooster will call them all over and let all of them eat before he eats.
That's amazing.
Leaders eat last.
I guess so. I don't know. It's definitely a thing though, because I've seen his videos on it.
Yeah, it's typical rooster behavior.
I guess taking care of his flock or whatever.
He takes his role seriously.
Right? We need more men to do that.
Yeah.
100. We need more beamers in the world. Looking strawberry.
Yeah.
Don't say that too loud. Too often. Because
People will misinterpret, and then people will be accosted with flipping the bean all the time.
despite popular belief, I'm actually pretty hated. Wait till I start talking about politics. Well, it'll be very fast if you'll change your opinion. F the strawberries, F Bima. We need less of anyone that thinks like her. Get rid of her. This is true. This is true. She's an anarchist. She turned me into a newt.
You have no question marks other than the crypto one, but we can work you through that.
See, I'm very strategic. You know, I was a cypherpunk, so I got into crypto because I was first introduced to it at the New Hampshire Pork Fest, like long time ago. And I mean, I gotta tell you, yeah, like a long time ago.
That's pretty legit. There's some legitimacy in that statement.
Yeah, and it was just people, you know, I didn't get into it for the money. I got into it for the utility, you know, of like government, and you know, voluntarists and anarchists. So you could only see how that aligns with my philosophical worldview. And then, you know, the meme coin started, and that's interesting, but you can, you know, and it's difficult. It's a hard place to navigate.
So, not to take the muff in this direction, but I do have a serious question. Are you strategic enough that you are adjacent to the belly buttons of these coins that are going to do the rug pull? Like, are you close to the information so you're part of, like, you know when to sell, when to exit, when to buy?
No, I'm a super snob. I'm a super snob. I have people in very high places that know how to read. And when I say high places, I mean they just know how to understand code and white paper. We go through, like, I'm kind of like the exposer. I'll tell you, you know, like if you were to ask me, oh, what should I invest in, Bima, because you do so good. My first thing will say, I'll tell you, if you ask anybody that and they tell you what coin to invest in, don't trust them. Just walk away. There has to be a bunch of questions that need to be asked before anything like that. I'm not going to give you an answer. You know what I mean? You got to do your research. You got to know the community. You got to understand the white paper. You got to understand how the keys are. Is it immutable? What chain? You got to know all of that stuff. And unless, you know, because you're right, like the scammers, they just wash and rinse, wash, and they'll just be all over the place. So chances are you're not gonna like what I have to say about a lot of stuff, but also I'm not gonna tell you that it can't be useful.
Yeah, I think 99% of the non-Bitcoin coins are scams. But so I'm kind of Bitcoin only at this point. You know, I mean, I think the rest are like casinos. Like, Ether has utility because it powers so many other coins, but I think I would feel comfortable telling a layperson, like, go ahead and start putting a little bit into Bitcoin. But anything else, I would almost say, yeah, do thousands of hours of research before you delve into any.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's money to be made, and what I like to call shit coins. There's money to be made there, but there's nothing else there besides, unless you're there at the right time and you got the right people. But Bitcoin is definitely the only thing I would have about it. I'm not even going to try to learn or understand how. I would not say how. I wouldn't waste time buying shit for nothing. I don't care. I don't like the thought of it. I ain't saying it should be bad, but I don't like it. People should only about Bitcoin.
Yeah, you could get lucky, but it's very much like investing in an individual stock equities in the sense that you might get lucky, you might time it right, but there are a lot of people who are a lot closer to the money who have a lot more information than you do, and you're playing against them. So, the odds are against you. You might get lucky. I consider a shitcoin like literally like spinning, betting on a spinning roulette wheel. It's, the odds are against you, but you might get lucky.
Unless you was in on the rug pool, other than that, if you're not in on the rug pool, you're gonna take this some real luck.
Yeah, that's straight theft. I'm fully 110% against it. So any type of theft, I mean, it's just insane. But the 1,000-hour thing, that's not even a joke. Like, that's some real stuff, Once you start to get into the community and the crypto community, and then you understand the cycles, and then you understand the communities, there'll be players. There are people that dedicate their entire lives, like I'm talking 8-12 hours a day, just reading, the blockchain to determine, where who are the whales, where is the money flowing going, because everything's, public.
Yep. Sometimes we don't want people coming in, man.
That's what I'm saying. So should that be streamlined, or you think that it's okay to continue?
I think it should be streamlined because there are times when the military, we had to intervene. Not really intervene, but put in a request for our military members because they got married to their spouses was from a foreign country. And if their stuff was taking too long, we had a military liaison. Would have to go down to the embassy and try to say, hey, what's the hold up there? This guy's about to ECS and he's married and he can't take his wife with him, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that happened to a troop of mine who got married to a Russian in South Korea. They said he was a spy. It was kind of funny. Everybody was saying he got married to a spy.
Isn't that what they tried to do with the border bill? They wanted to allocate more funds to get more judges, to get more, more services, to get, there's a
Biden deal.
The bipartisan bill, right? The bipartisan bill that they tried to pass.
That Trump tank. Yeah, that Trump tank. Yes, that is true. That's one of the main things, and it was to increase the amount of immigration judges because there's not enough of them.
I mean, more judges is less time in the system, right? So get them.
Because the docket is because your docket now you have more instead of going for a judge that has 1,000 people on his docket to adjudicate. You might have less because the judges could share the load.
Yeah, and see, this is what I'm talking about. When you do that, then it decreases the amount of people who are here without like an unknown, you know what I mean? Like just floating in the air kind of change. It's either yes or no. Either you in or you're not. Like, if they had the judges to be able to consider that.
Now they got like long ass wait periods, like months at a time before their next appointment.
Sometimes almost a year. Because it keep getting postponed. Anyway.
I got a poor connection.
Hey, strong back. Am I where you at?
I just came from the supermarket. I'm headed back home.
What are you getting ready to fix?
My wife sent me to get a whole bunch of cheeses. I don't know what she's cooking.
Oh, you about to have company? It's getting a bunch of cheeses. That sounds like people coming.
I don't think so.
So y'all just gonna be eating cheeses?
She might be cooking something.
Y'all making a charcuterie board.
Exactly.
She might be cooking Italian. I don't know.
Second, once he said his first question, I saw where he was going with it in the first 2 seconds.
So I think that's just beyond it's not criticism, it's just my concern that your
Culturally,
confidence in this should
I'm
be
watching
I'd
dog
rather
videos.
you be close to where the rug pull happens, then I could understand why you're involved in it because you have insider information.
But that nap show does sound a little.
First to get out.
I'm feeling a bit nappish.
I have to say, Jess, if that's where we're at, that we have to watch dog videos to entertain us and get our minds off of what's going on, I so get it. It's so true.
I love dogs. That's one of my wife's.
They're the best. The dog videos are the best.
Congressman in the 16th district, I think connecting district
That was so funny.
redistricting. But he is a can kicker. I'm gonna.
Stayed around white people. That's how I knew them by their dog. I didn't know none of their names, but I was like, oh my God, Ava.
But I think probably serendipity and I and Anne are like pulling out tiny razor blades right now.
I rearranged my home office over the last week, and my dog saw me on Zoom for the first time. And she's looking at my screen, and she's like, wait, I know the person in that screen, but you're right here. And she was having the hardest time trying to figure out why I was in the screen when I was sitting right there. It was really funny.
Let's fly way up to the clouds. Oh, I guarantee you that it's up significant.
Remember when the shelters all emptied out during COVID? Well, I rescued one of those. Mine was dumped in the desert in 2022.
That's so bad.
So, yeah, they left her out in the middle of the desert.
Hey, Jay, I know you're trying to be incognito.
There's nobody setting it off like that. No matter what happens, there's no break. And this is what we got. In actual time, it's been way longer than
What's that?
in actual time, you know, it's younger, but it's been running nonstop longer than that.
Cross.
Style is great.
They always position Bitcoin and gold and cryptocurrency as being a hedge against the dollar and stock equities and other types of
Oh my God, you still talking about that?
I do. I got big time
There should be a mirror image. The stock market's up.
You wanna? Can you post can you post your Instagram?
They tend to move up
Stop
and
backing up.
down with other market.
It's in my profile, ain't it?
You know, I feel like eventually that.
Let me see.
No, it's not. I'll put it
Oh,
in the
no,
profile.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, you can only put it, you got a plus. That's crazy.
No, you only go. You better stop looking up.
They owe us money. I'm allowed to bitch and complain about that.
Not they owe you money when I found out you didn't even vote. That's crazy.
You know how much they fucking, I voted before. They ain't fucking taking my time every
But your ass didn't vote this
carry from one season to another.
What you think? You vote and that shit is a nice vote?
If it matters, I'm a vote. I ain't voting in a rigged poker game.
Well, it matters right now.
I feel like it's gonna matter.
But everybody that thinks like you, that's the reason we fucking lost.
I disagree.
Oh, my vote don't matter. I'll vote next time.
Well, ever since Citizens United, our vote hasn't really mattered on top of the electoral college fucking shit gerrymandering, but that's not a
But if you had voted, this shit wouldn't be happening, but you didn't vote, so that's why
He's
it's
in
happening.
California though, so I guess that's.
I help people register.
But then you want to sit here and
I feel
complain.
like that's enough. No, I don't. I want to go outside. I want to march.
Does your family live in Cali too?
Yeah, no, one does. My father lives in Vegas, but.
And what is Vegas, blue or red?
That's a good question.
The research, but I mean,
and I feel irresponsible saying, I'm not going to say it. I'll just tell you this. Once you get into crypto and you understand and you understand how to navigate it, there's so much money to be made. And you can say like, oh yeah, BMO, well, you got lucky, like lottery type stuff. And it's like, you know, if I can repeat it, then I don't think it's a lottery, but it's the knowledge that you had to find and invest in. Like there are some incredible things. Listen, guys, and I don't want to say this irresponsibly, but you're forcing me to say, oh, a spider's on me. Oh, wow, hello. I don't like you, though, because you kind of look a little scary, so I have to blow it off. It's like a money printer. I'll tell you that. It is a money printer. And if you know how to invest and where to invest and how to, you know, like, for example, staking or hodling, LPing, you do those things, you have this is the highest appreciating asset, and you will not be able to make that amount of money in Bitcoin with the same amount starting value. Not in Bitcoin, not in any other asset on the planet. So I feel that.
Bima, can I exchange the amount of time that I spend recording Clubhouse for a new undiscovered cryptocurrency that has, 100x capability?
I rather not, but.
Well, have you heard of Sourcecoin? Because that's the biggest crypto coin I'm investing in. Not many people know that Sourcecoin was the forerunner to Bitcoin. It's the primary central coin that the first crypto community ever created. It's called Sourcecoin. It trades at $1. But I'm sure it can go to $1 million a coin because it's the source of all coins. Have you heard of Sourcecoin, Bima?
Never heard of it.
Well, I'm not pitching you on Sourcecoin, nor do I think maybe you should be an investor. I don't know if you're qualified, but Sourcecoin is the original cryptocurrency coin created in 1994 by a team of MIT engineers who have exclusively held this cryptocurrency in reserve for moments like today when crypto is finally becoming the dominant form of financial exchange as opposed to dollars. So if you want more information on Sourcecoin, just go to my profile and click my YouTube link and click subscribe.
So is it its own blockchain? Like what are you talking about? What blockchain is it on?
Not only is it its own blockchain, it's technically considered the blockchain or the source of all blockchains.
Very interesting. How do you spell that?
Source, Source, coin.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of Source Coin? Oh my gosh, and you
Never.
call yourself
Never
a crypto expert? I can't believe you haven't heard of Source Coin.
Never heard of it. Is there another name for it?
No, it's been going by Source Coin for like 29 years now.
What's the ticker symbol?
Source, SRCE. Can't believe you haven't heard of Source Coin. Jeez. It's got like a $300 billion market cap. You never heard of Source Coin? Source. You guys don't. I can't believe it. I guess maybe I don't spend enough time in the Bitcoin rooms anymore.
Never, ever, ever heard of it. Any developers? What's it like a developer's name? Do you have any name drops?
He's putting us on. He's putting us on. The SRCE is not even listed on CoinGecko.
That's just not true.
They got a $300 billion market cap.
Satoshi, they say Satoshi was one of the original developers, but he dropped out and went to form Bitcoin. But SourceCoin was the original.
Nobody can say that because they don't know who he is. Somebody making a statement that Satoshi was part of something. It's nothing.
Well, Satoshi in Japanese means red dragon. So they say that, one of the original founders of SourceCoin was the red dragon. Oh, this was just a joke, by the way.
I would like to know what the punchline is.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in the chat. He put, that I was connected to Source. So I was just talking about a hypothetical Source coin.
I liked it. You know what? I liked how you picked up that theme. I picked up on it right away. And it was attractive. It was a great combination of ideas. If there isn't a source coin, there should be. One should be connected to it.
Bitcoin geeks.
Well, I'm trying to make the point that what Bima is technically doing is kind of like steering, or she uses all these technical terms like hodling, straddling. I mean, yes, there's some layover with the stock market, but what I'm trying to say is those buzzwords are what you want to avoid in life, because that's basically, the start of a rug pull. The real source, unfortunately, is the dollar, and everything is delimited, or it's broken up into dollars, which are like bits. So all the stock market, every single stock, is primarily denominated in dollars, and it's a huge pool of dollars that are just not in dollars per se, or digital. So the dollar is very transmutational. It can be digital in terms of like your checking account, savings account, or a money market account. And then it can be in the stock market as securities or stocks, preferred or Class A or Class B or Class C, whatever, across thousands of companies. In 2023, I took my life savings and I broke it up into about 500 different stocks, and over the course of a year, it completely represented a bell-shaped curve. 10% of the corporations went out of business, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe there were those many failures in my portfolio. But when you look at the biggest winners, there were 10 X's, in the portfolio, like Nvidia and others. But the point is diversity in your portfolio is your friend, but diversity in the real world is merely political.
It's very easy in a bull market to invest and make yourself seem like a genius because you're more likely to win. And that's Bima, I just met you today and you seem fascinating and interesting and you seem like you know what you're talking about, but I wonder if there's a little bit of that going on with investing in random cryptocurrency coins, because there's a lot of that in that community, and I don't suspect that that's you again, but there's a lot of just, investing in a bull market and then seeming like a genius afterward, and they don't really talk about what happens during the 2 bear market years.
Yeah, I mean, Bima, when you look at the index of all these shit coins, to me, it's unbelievable that there's that much market cap out there, but it's probably not like authentic because there's maybe not that much liquidity. But the point is, like if it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, I mean, in my opinion, run for the fucking hills. And even then, only put like 1% of your life savings in Bitcoin or Ethereum because there's just too much diversity out there that you've got to have a lot of money, like $10 million or $1 million to even want to like own, digital assets, which really are just collectibles. That's what I don't think a lot of these Bitcoiners who are Bitcoin maxis and Bitcoin utopians, they don't realize that they're all or nothing. And a lot of it deals with virtue signaling as well as being political. But, a lot of this is utopian because they want to break the Federal Reserve and the dollar hold monopoly. But it's just political. So that's not the basis for a good investment. I mean, the basis for a good investment is that it's a good business. It's run well. It's profitable. They got a deep moat. Um, you know, but you can go into the stock market and pull up 100 stocks right now that have negative, quarterly earnings of $10 to $20 million. There's a lot of stocks that are basically completely bankrupt. So, and they still are never, they've never seemed to fall because they got cash flow coming in. Like these real estate investment trusts, how they keep that Ponzi scheme going is basically, it's like negative erosion. All these analysts just sit there and say, oh, okay, they do all this REIT analysis, and there's just REIT people that all they do is analysis on REIT, which is like what you said with crypto, people who are just hyper focused on that ledger, looking at it nonstop. It becomes an addiction, aka a hypnosis or a trance. And so once you're able to disengage from the stock market, it's the same thing. Clubhouse is like an audio social version of somebody who has to go to work and look at the stock market and do analysis all day and rearrange the portfolio and constantly optimize. So I hope that makes sense. It's up to you to choose how you want to spend your time, optimizing whatever it is that you're trying to optimize.
Yeah, I think for people that are like listening into this and they just want to make like a quick buck, and it's just like, yeah, I want to make some money. I would say, yeah. You're probably better off in some S&P or investing in something like that. But
you gotta have money. You gotta have money prior. What I'm talking about is the bigger game is how do I make money with no money? Because the truth is, more money has been made with no money than money has been made with money. So just filming casual conversations on Clubhouse, posting them to YouTube, and then monetizing your YouTube account, and that type of value creation, because that doesn't take much investment to actually do. Anyways, I'm just saying, if you can find little hacks, you can make money in the publishing industry, or, it's arbitrage as well. Publishers and advertisers.
The goal shouldn't be to make more money. The goal is to make more Bitcoin. That's my goal. I get talked about $1. Bitcoin gonna be here long past $1. So it's not about making that dollar. It's about finding ways to, I guess, make dollars from you. You're turning dollars to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I have no intention of going back to dollars.
I mean, I could create like a marketing campaign and call it bitcoinhypnosis.com or something. And, basically get people to give or donate Bitcoin, to this startup. I mean, that's kind of what Isaac Hayes does with Fanbase. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. Like it's basically what Wrigley said. If I had $1 million, I would spend $999,000 on advertising and a penny on the product. So that's, if you go to the Bitcoin room on Clubhouse right now, they're on here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day in like a Bitcoin trance. And there's all these actors that come in on the stage and do their Bitcoin dance and Bitcoin song, and then they depart, and then the room simmers, and then so I'm just saying, it's your game. You choose what game you want to play, but there's a lot of games, and anybody who's just all one thing, it's very boring. Like during Thanksgiving, you put it all in your mouth, and that's the best flavor outcome.
Yeah, that's interesting. You put it all in your mouth. Put it in my mouth. Well, yeah, so We are in the mouth. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a super crypto snob. There's gonna have to be a lot of criteria met before I even take a look at any type of shit. So most of the time, what happens is if you were to launch this whatever bullshit that you said, you're gonna get all the people that are ignorant. That you're not gonna get the real investors. You're not gonna get the big heavyweights because they're not gonna invest in that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I'm in, perfect, flawless. Operation 100% uptime, never hacked, audited multiple times, no downtime, open source, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't be interfered with the government. Bitcoin, I think might have a good chance, but I have a lot of personal issues with what happened in the very early stages of Bitcoin and the developers and that whole thing. If anyone would like to, if anyone's interested, I recommend a good book called, what was it called? It's by Roger Ver. But check that out. Very good stuff. And so you know what? There's truth. Truth is a little bit, it's in the middle, right? It's not either side. You could definitely make money if you know what you're doing. And I think that it's also irresponsible, now that I'm thinking about it, like it's irresponsible for me to like lie to everybody too. You know what I mean? Like I went from never having more than a couple, $1,000 in my savings to something that I couldn't even fathom. And that was because of the appreciating asset that you know what I'm saying? Like I would have never gotten that in any other, unless I had the momentum, the money, It's like, I turned 2,000, like I started with just $2,000, right? The amount of money that I would have had to invest to make what I ended up making, I would have had to have a few million, you know what I mean? Like I'm just telling you, but you gotta do it right. Wendy Crypto, I really appreciate something, like a little formula that she says for people that want to start up. Take a little bit of money if you're interested, right? Take a little bit of money and she calls make a moon bag. She calls it a moon bag. So take only what you can absolutely afford to lose, right? What you absolutely can afford to lose, maybe $500,000, $2,000, right? Throw it in. Don't ever put any more fiat into this. And then just navigate, listen to it, learn everything, learn where you can, move things, right? I'm totally DeFi, no centralized exchanges. You will never catch me on a centralized exchange. You will never, at DeFi all the way 110%, right? But also there's a lot more responsibility and accountability. But I don't do the middleman thing. I don't do the, you're gonna take my keys, yeah, no thank you, right? That's not what crypto is about. Crypto is for you to hold your own keys. If you don't have your keys, that's not crypto. That's some other bullshit that you're getting into, and you're likely gonna get fucking, scammed or whatever the hell else. So that's my my spiel. But there is money to be made.
Without a doubt, you can make money, but way more people will end up losing money. But insider or at least well-researched even have a chance. But the one claim, everything you said sounded correct, except the one claim you made about you're only invested in projects that can't be fucked with by the government. I don't understand how that's possible because Bitcoin, as far as I know, is the only coin that doesn't have some kind of organized leadership board or foundation that powers it, or a governing class, or some entity that owns pieces of it. So I don't understand how they're protected from government fucking with them.
There is another, and I'm not going to promote it here, but the best thing that I can say is you gotta look. Just keep looking. It does exist. There are a couple that exist. Really good stuff where it doesn't matter. Like even Ethereum could be shut down, right? All it needs to be government, right? Exactly. Not this. And it's because the people are the ones who hold. You see what I'm saying? similar to Bitcoin.
So if you mention the names of the coins, you're not promoting them. You're just, for the sake of conversation.
I know, but there's too much controversy around crypto, and I can't do that irresponsibly. But there is.
Yeah, we should maybe add that to in the MUF rules, no cryptocurrency promotion of any kind whatsoever.
You just lost my vote that I was never going to give you to begin with.
Well, I
You
mean,
can change it around if you start supporting DeFi. You know what I mean? Like if you support DeFi, we could talk, but.
well, the problem is, you can promote it or you can support it, but keep the government out of it. Keep the Federal Reserve out of it. So if they want to do CBDC and they're going to create this international, super coin with all the world central banks, which is technically pretty much what they already have, there's no chance of ever breaking the global banking cartel's monopoly on all of our lives. That's the true ledger of everyone's life. Your social security number has a huge database connected to it, and you are the recipient of all that engineering. So, the social security number is a very powerful tool that a lot of people around the world want. Why do you think all these people coming across they're coming here because they want the social security, which is really just a number. They want to get connected to that ledger, to that blockchain, to that network. So that's one way to look at, it's a different approach to try to visualize how to maybe make, changes to the game theory, to what the government.
I'm not even sure what you even said. Do you think you could condense it and give me the
Yeah,
abbreviation of a sentence?
Every American with a social security is secretly connected in a network which is tied to a database, and that's your social security.
Okay, so what does it have to do with DeFi? I'm sorry.
Because you're promoting DeFi, but you're not also criticizing government DeFi, which is what the Federal Reserve is doing, and secretly with other governments. I mean, I could Google articles about the CBDC. What I'm saying is they want to create FedCoin, which supersedes all other coins in the same way that the dollar supersedes all other global currencies. Does that make sense, Bima?
Yeah, I think you definitely do not spend enough time in cryptocurrency communities because I just got what you said, and that's exactly why that's what it is. Like, we absolutely 100%. Oh, there he goes again. 130. What is this? No, it's very outspoken. I mean, like the biggest names, and the Fed. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is huge. This is how we. Of course we talk about it. Of course we talk about how the CBDCs, they're just hijacking and it's not crypto and it's dangerous and it's, yeah. You just have to get yourself, you got an X account? You should go into X, follow some of the biggest crypto founders, some of the biggest cryptocurrencies, do DeFi, good stuff, and just chill out a little bit. Go into some of those X spaces and just listen. They're very critical.
No, I get it. But see, there's a flip side to this coin. You do realize that, right? That is joining Wall Street or working and making money in asset management, and being a part of the network. Sometimes it's better to work inside the system than it is outside the system, because inside the system, there's a lot more fruit to be eaten.
I'm so lost. I feel like you're talking in circles.
No, I'm just saying.
I what you said 90% of the time.
I'm just saying, no matter where you find yourself on the spectrum, you're always still in the MUF.
Big Red making more sense than you. You guys long enough to get there.
I mean, I could eat a peach all day.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what movie that's from? That's a quote. Face Off.
Nah.
That's our Face Off, Captain Troy.
Damn, you even knew his name. Holy shit.
Do you know, growing up, I had a milkman, and he would deliver us. No, excuse me, sorry, messed up. There was an eggman. It was my father's. Okay, how do I explain this? So my father, his dad had a guy named Frank, the milkman. Then Frank, the milkman, had a son named Frank, and then he did eggs. And then his son served my dad, and we had an eggman. Yeah, this dude would pull up in the middle of the hood, okay? He was such a badass. Frank the Eggman. Boy, Frank the Milkman? Or Frank the Eggman. So this is Frank the Eggman, and he would pull up in the summertime. He wasn't giving us some double yolker, eggs. He was bringing all this fruit, the peaches, the cherries. Oh my gosh, it was so incredible. All that he grew up right off of his farm. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's a little news of progress. Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to get out of the country?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna get Sean Archer. With your help.
Jacksonville. Are you talking about the Cracker Barrel controversy? Yeah, the cracker, they took the cracker in the barrel.
How are we supposed to do that? This is Sean Archer we're talking about. This isn't just some Boy Scout. Fitch. No, besides, his house is probably alarmed up the wazoo. Code is 10/19/86. That's his dead son's birthday. Don't just break your heart.
That's brilliant.
How is it that you know so much about Sean Archer? I sleep with his wife.
Homie feelings gone?
I mean, that's the whole aesthetic of Cracker Barrel, though, is...
So that's what's getting a lot of backlashes.
So they're also announced that they're renovating their restaurants. I didn't even know that company still existed. Has anyone eaten there?
I've eaten there many times. When I heard when Monica starts talking about Cracker Barrel, I gotta tell you, to me, I can't stop laughing. Whenever she talks about Cracker Barrel, it's just, I don't know, Monica has a stigma, or I could be projecting on her, but I don't know. When she starts talking about Cracker Barrel, like Moose down there.
I want to go over there, but I'm scared. I don't want to irritate her.
Actually, yeah, I guess we can't bring up, well, it's, anyways. I need to review the rules.
You're not going to irritate her, Bima. Monica's a big girl. She can handle it. I pushed back on her pretty hard this morning. You did a great job. And she was good.
I know it sounds like she's on the fence for a minute. She's like, I love arguing with my friends, but I'm not saying we're gonna stop being friends. I'm like, oh, she's wondering.
No, she wouldn't. The thing of it is, more often than not in private, that's where I tend to really push back on Monica and some of her things. Mostly because, like, I don't want to give the impression that, like, I don't know. I don't think it's good necessarily to, like, when I push back on some of her ideas and some of the things that she does, I don't want to embarrass her. I don't want her to think that, like, I don't support her as a person. But there are definitely things that she does sometimes that I have words to say about, you know, and I respect her enough to handle it privately in most arenas. But I told her, I said, you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm pushing on you. I said, but I might push back on you in public sometimes, just because I think you're being a little obtuse, and she doesn't care.
Well, people can call what they do educational because they're playing some type of like academic clip, but then giggle about, you know, a gaslight topic because they think they're being smart and they're secretly getting away with the gaslight. So it's a game people are playing, but I would submit what's actually happening is stirring the pot and it's not educational. You have to pick up a book and read it into your cell phone on this app if you want to make a room educational. Otherwise, it's stirring the pot, it's gossip, it's drama, it's gaslight, and that's the game. Clubhouse is a very unique app in that way because humans are so smart and we're so multivariable and our brains are so powerful. We find a way to secretly stir the pot. And I'm secretly stirring the pot right now by saying, you know, don't stir the pot. See how that game works?
I know.
I mean, yesterday you created a room about no more doxing, and the room becomes like a conversation about. So that's like a dox soup you cooked up, and therefore you perpetuate what you know happened in previous rooms.
No, I copied a room title. John. The final answer on doxing. So I copied that room title, and then I gave the final answer on doxing.
This is what people take a long time to come around to. The medium is the message. This is what Clubhouse is. This is the medium of this app. And like it's inevitable. It's a circular train and it always comes back to this. And you know, the crowd needs their bit of blood at regular intervals and that will never change.
Well, see, the medium is the message, but when you're not on Clown House, you're no longer working or connected to that medium, which is like saying you've chosen a different pastel or different medium. You know, it's art. It comes down to the fact that most people don't realize it, but when you are here, you are creating art.
Yeah, I uninstalled the app for 7 months, and then I slowly came back, and now I am back on it, and I know who hates who and why, and it's so fucking stupid and so inconsequential unless you're on this app all the time, and then it feels so weighty and palpable and irresistible also.
Why do we do it?
I refuse to keep track of who hates who. It's just too hard. I don't have the bandwidth for it. But if you do look up serendipity in the dictionary, the synonym is instigator, because that's what she is. She's an instigator. The biggest instigator in the app.
Wow. And I thought you loved me, Yosh.
Hey, is the grind dead? I don't think it anymore.
No, it's not dead.
You just prefer to be in the muff.
I just prefer to be in the muff. There's no better place to be. I think she is so well-rounded. Serendipity, I think you are probably one of the, if not the most well-rounded people on this app. You create such a nice, like, comfortable place to come and talk. Yeah. No, you really do.
She's the most grounded person, female, on the app.
Aw, listen to you guys giving me flowers. Y'all are so sweet.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time now.
We have. Yep. We have for sure. Yosh is also one of the good ones. Bean is a pretty good gal too, and she's a driver and all this stuff.
Have you ever gone to Anarcho Poco?
Oh, I know. So, you know, Anarchast? No. Do you know who runs Anarcho Poco? The guy's name? I thought people, like that was like a 7 year, like I think it was 7 years. It was like a really long. They were dedicated to it, but I gotta tell you, like there was so much drama, and I feel like that was in a way maybe what. I mean, you had to make a movie, you had to make something watchable, and it was just, I was like, oh no, please don't do this, don't do it. And then you pick these specific people, but yeah, no.
Well, tell everyone what it is. Most people out there know. You don't mind.
Anarcho Poco is.
Hello, my name is George Stevenson. Welcome to Politics on the Prairie. We have a great guest.
Drizzy said the ultimate goal, but it's basically an annual meeting where anarchists
Politics on
all
the
over the
Prairie,
world
brought to you by the
come
United
to
States
talk
Association
and
of
do
Gun Owners.
stuff and
In the modern world, your
workshops
family's first defense.
I mean, sing, song, eat, whole nine in yeah, and not in the United States. I see another one, a lanternfly. These things are so fat.
It's in Acapulco, Mexico. Hence the name. Anarchism mixed with Acapulco.
So, Serendipity, if you wanted to do a clickbait title, you could say all of Clubhouse got doxxed, massive dox leak. Like that would really stir the pot.
Massive data leak.
No, dox leak. You could say dox and data leak, but dox is an interesting word, a 3-letter word, which is new to the English language, I believe. Dox.
Apparently, I have a clickbait title already.
Oh, that's true. That hashtag is actually very much in the muff.
Hey,
I had a C to the word dog, so it's French.
have you been to any other quote unquote in the United States, like anarchist?
No, I would like to. I haven't. I follow some of those online communities. Like I follow the New Hampshire Free State Project and Liberland in Europe and that kind of stuff. But I haven't actually physically been. I would like to.
Very cool. Well, if you next year, if you decide, we should meet up. You should also take a look at Patrick Smith. Are you familiar with Patrick Smith?
No, but I'll write it down.
What about Larkin Rose?
Mm-mm.
What about Mark Passio?
No, but I'm slightly getting more embarrassed as you keep going.
No, it's okay. They're all different flavors. They're all gonna offer you a different flavor. So, Patrick Smith is the choice.
Bima, let me ask you a question. How do you think one can create the most value possible on Clown House for the limited amount of time that we all have here, for the rest of our lives? But how do you think somebody creates as much value as possible on this app?
Well, that's embarrassing because what I want to say is exactly what I don't do.
So what is it that you don't do? Bima.
It's embarrassing.
Go ahead, Bima. Tell everybody the truth. What is it that you don't do?
I think I should listen more and talk less and offer information or quote unquote value.
I don't think that first Bima, I don't think that first part works, listen more, talk less. I don't think that that's going to work either.
You don't think that part works?
No, because what you're doing is technically listening to yourself when other people are talking to you, meaning that if you're not reading a book, it's still a little bit like listening to yourself because there's no script. So I'm just saying the script is how you create the highest value. If you work in script writing or in film production, the script is, the charter or the document of communication that all of the actors are utilizing to create that value. So I think those same rules apply here on Clown House.
But value's subjective. So people, it really depends on your purpose. Once you state your purpose, then we could talk about value creation. Because sometimes people just want to be, like I've been accused of being an attention seeker. Oh, you're just an attention seeker. Yeah, I was in a very low state of my life, and I was trying to escape my mind, and that's exactly what I came on here to do. Is if I can, yes, absorb it, talk to me, get me out of my head. That's exactly what I want to do. And then there's also, like you just want to learn. You want to talk to other people. That's a different type of, a goal or a purpose. So it really depends. Oh, she got out. It really depends on the purpose, ultimate purpose. So,
Well,
I mean,
the
you read us the Tao Te Ching, right? Tao Te Ching, right? So we went through that together.
well, the purpose.
And I was thinking, like, what if we apply it to anything? Like, let's talk about like the application post. And I was surprised we never had that discussion. And I was disappointed because it was just like we read it and then that's it, right? But did everybody want to do that? No. People just want to do what the hell they want to do.
Well, that's do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That's a good rule, but I'm just saying that the question was how does one create the highest value utilizing this app? Because this deals with value creation, because if you can create great value here, you can create value anywhere, off of this app, because this is a difficult experiment to run to try to create that high value, because most people are passively using the app as opposed to actively, which is really reading a book. I hate to keep going back to this amazing thing called book, but in the muff, you can always take a book and, read a book in the muff.
So you're saying that everything needs to be scripted, like a radio show? Sir?
Yeah, I would submit or suggest that people on Clubhouse spend as much time reading books and scripts as much as possible, because if you've been here 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, you've already heard every major speaker say their elevator pitch, which is their pattern, and they will keep making those patterns over and over and over again. Therefore, every conversation you hear, from now and into all the future, it's still always going to be the same pattern. So the only way.
But you know what though? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I do recognize that I did that. But listen, the thing is just you're never gonna win depending on what type of circles you're in. Perfect example is yesterday. I'm not gonna say any names, okay? But yesterday, a person had held a room, a recorded.
Wait,
room,
you can't bring drama in. You're breaking rule number 9, Bima.
No, it's not drama. I'm giving you an example.
Can I speak to your shift supervisor, Serendipity? Because in my opinion, you're about to break rule number 9. I just want a ruling. You're not a supermodel.
Okay. So, I'll try to rephrase it. So, I'll just get to the point, nit and gritty. Thank you for letting me rephrase this. I have read from books information like which are deliberate rooms that are held specifically for education and sharing and rational discussions and kind of dialogue. And I read from a book and read out the information, and I get accused. All you do is read from a book. You don't, no thoughts of your. I mean, you just can't win.
Yeah, that's what the Dhammapada says. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But what I'm saying is, reading a script is like putting more code into this conversation. And if you want to change the software, you have to put more code or script into the situation, which is you. So this is all just about self-development, personal improvement, finding peace, finding silence, stillness, strength, flexibility. Those types of, positive linguistic words, which a lot of people on this app don't hear. All they hear is noise signal.
I think though, then let's think about that, because because then maybe that's an element that they're looking for. Because they could just go, I mean, like we have all of these other amazing websites for podcasts and audiobooks and YouTube. If they wanted something scripted, they would just go there, but they're coming here for real-time discussion. They want to hear how real people are responding, their impromptu responses, how people think. It's different. So I would have to push back on that.
I know, but what I'm saying is we're so patternistic because that's kind of what energy is in a way. It's a consistent repetition. So I'm just saying that unless people start using this app to read books and or you don't follow rule number 9 and you bring in drama from old rooms, which is basically running our memory systems, you'll be back out of the now. And when you're out of the now, there's less joy, control, splendor, happiness, less of a foundation, and you're out of your kingdom. So I'm just saying that in the muff is the best place to be.
That's hilarious. I love the last plug, absolutely. But here, let me ask you this, okay? Do you feel you mentioned control, and you really push hard for this, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just curious about your feeling for the need to push this. Like, what is it doing for you? Like, what are you using that campaign for? Specifically, the campaign to try to get people to read or script their communications on Clubhouse. What are you using that for?
Well, this is really just a conference call, so it's just free void, but we have made it into a game because we are such social creatures. And if you're hyper social, you should also be hyper political because Marcus Aurelius says, "Be social, be political."
I don't think they really got an answer. Does it make you feel good? Like, does it serve a need for you to promote this campaign? Like, what does it do for you in your mind?
Well, I'm killing two birds with one stone because as I run, I'm also recording political sentiment, political discourse, political topics, political activity, as well as homicidal ideation. So I'm literally capturing the entire spectrum of the American, thought from male to female across the board. It's just interesting. This is the way I view my observations in my own scientific, experiment. Because if you're a scientist and you believe in, the scientific method, and you took those courses and you learned the processes to try to develop hypotheses and theories based off of your observations and repeatable experiments. What I'm saying is people just keep running the same experiment here on Clubhouse, and they don't know that because they're oblivious.
I mean, like, I think that's assumption, I mean, to say that they don't know that, I mean, we really don't know what anybody knows. We can't pretend to be in somebody's mind. But also, you come and, we're just talking about why you want to run this campaign all the time. Is it potentially that that's how you feel that you offer value to Clubhouse? Like,
No, I asked you, how does one create the highest value when you use this app? I would suggest that it's pointless to use this app unless at some point in time you do the activity or action or say the words that create the highest value for yourself and for other listeners. So shortly, after we finish this little Q&A, I'm going to read to you what's called a poem from a book.
Do you think that this is more about you than about how other people communicate? They say good ideas don't require force. Or they also say things like lead by example.
Yeah. If I read you a poem, I am not just telling you, I'm showing you. So that's how I would lead by example, is read you a poem.
All right, I hope it's a good poem.
Okay, it is a good poem. It is called, it's called Clubhouse by Mojo.
Oh my God.
It's a meditation. It's actually called AHA, but I hope you like it. So take the deepest breath of the day through your nose. Hold it for 10 seconds. There are 7 keys to the great gate. Being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs, enhance hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered, time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is, yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O clubhouse brothers of the silver star.
So let me ask you, would you be able to simply just give us a couple words, the 7 keys, since you've read it?
Yeah, I can reduce what's in the glossary, some words.
Well, what about in your own interpretation? The 7 keys, go.
Well, what I just read you is a script to induce a deep state of relaxation, because it is a numbered breathing list on how to, what you could call like activate your third eye or your, crown chakra, or it's a way to induce a state of relaxation. It's a meditation. So, and there's intelligence in what I just read you, it's saying go with the flow, be the power of the Pacific Ocean. So it's a way to.
I took notes. So I have an idea. I think I missed one, but I have my 7, so I'm just wondering, since you read it, could you just give us the 7?
Well, again, this is a script for meditation.
Maybe you need to read it again.
I don't want to read it again, but you could tell us the words that you put down in your notes.
So I was caught, like, the things that you were saying, I was putting them as you were saying them. So piece by piece, what is it? So first, let the body be still, then let the body breathe, then be pure and calm, and then I missed the fourth, and then the fifth was think divinely free, then the sixth was, I wasn't really sure what they meant by the sixth, but I feel like it was just, the idea was to just think about one thought, just think of a single idea, because it said, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind, and so that's why I was like, I guess that's what it meant, and then the next was, which I'm assuming was the seventh, was let ecstasy prolong and the meditation steep and strong, which I'm not even sure what that meant. It felt like, beyond, I don't know, maybe you're in a different state of consciousness at that point. So that's what I got from that.
You took that serious, I mean, like, you really followed that. That's pretty impressive.
Having a tantra poetry section. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're doing some in the muff Kundalini serpent energy meditation work here. And Bima just hit the nail on the head. It is about transforming consciousness, but I think if you really want to get in the muff, I mean, from my life, as JB likes to say, it's just my lived experience. If you want to live in the muff, I just think being a gentleman is always the optimal way, to get in the muff and to stay in the muff.
I can't take this room name no more. Everything contacts us a month. It all starts in a month, and it all goes.
Can you change the title to Tantric Muff? You don't have to, but.
Come on, go for it. You're an admin in this house. It's your house. Go for it.
Oh, I'm an admin in here? Okay,
I think Roger said it's your house. Please go.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Ann.
Hey, Brent, I got a question for you, Brent. If you took the metaphor simile that the Cracker Barrel is America, and we made you the CEO of Cracker Barrel, what would you do to turn the ship around, to turn that company upside down and make it profitable again, to grow the business, Brent? What would you do?
Place where people go to some extent is to be like the same. So I would probably keep it the same and just let the profits go out. I don't even know. I mean, what was it profitable when they made all these changes? What were the earnings?
So what you're saying is you don't have a good answer. That's what I got out of what you just said.
I think what I'm saying is, I like Cracker Barrel. I didn't see the need for the current changes.
You mean you wanted them to keep it racist and a Confederate restaurant?
Sure.
Well, Hikima, what do you think about that, Hikima?
Hey, look at my PTR, John. Let me know what you think about that. And back for the record, that
Oh,
was a
shit.
thing, and the police, Park Forest Police in the city next door to me, this is what they put on their Facebook page. And mind you, it's like a predominantly black city. So it's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't know. To me, Cracker Barrel, it pokes fun at white people, but it's just, I don't even think, just the two words alone, Cracker Barrel, are interesting words, because when I have a cup of chili, I like to, crush some crackers and put it on top of my chili. Anyways, Brent, my point is, you didn't have a good response with regards. I mean, your response was good, and you said I would leave it alone, and not change a thing because it's already got consistent earnings. This rebrand, dropped the stock 10-20% and wiped out about $1 billion in market cap. So I'm just saying that, if you were to use that metaphor and simile for the United States federal government, maybe your analysis is correct. But I would just say to just leave it alone is not, wouldn't be a good idea, because to borrow $2 trillion a year is not an optimization of operations or the spend. So it doesn't need a rebrand. It needs to stop borrowing and stop spending. I also want to give a big shout out to baby JB in the audience. Forget about it. So, Dr. Jordan, what'd you do last night? And when are you going to change your t-shirt? I think you might need a t-shirt rebrand change here on your Clubhouse profile.
I was home. Yeah, I was home last night.
What do you think about Howard's PTR? I mean, Howard, do you think people actually think you look like a cartoon?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I've had it for a long time. Hey, Dr. Jordan, long time no talk. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Hope you're well.
Yeah, hey, and the candidate, how much have you measured how much support you lost the other day on the Critical Thinking Forum, where you inaccurately accused Meryl of something that she never said? How much support did you lose?
It's not about how much support I lost. It's not about how much support I gained. What's important is, if somebody has TDS on their heads all the time and all they do is think about TDS, and somebody comes in there and interrupts their pattern and their repetition and their duplication and spam and tries to show them that they're wasting their time saying the same thing every single day in just a slightly different way, maybe I helped wake somebody up. And if that means I had to lose a little support for the campaign, Howard, well, I'm glad to do it. And pretty soon I'm going to read another poem, Howard, and interrupt your pattern as well.
Okay, well, I didn't see you as the candidate of always trying to bend the truth or not telling the truth, but this is one example where you're admitting that you basically were inaccurate, but you had a reason for it. So, interesting to know. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for contributing to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. Howard, your donation will be filmed as we spend it, live on the ground in Rockford and in Peoria, Illinois.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. Again, you have an opportunity to do something different. Let's just hope you think it through strategically and not just impulsively.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ask people all the time. A lot of people have to schedule everything in advance, and I find that to be really annoying because people can't be impulsive. And I think that at this point, at 37 trillion, being impulsive is a requisite for the change that's coming. But Howard, I also want to let you know, you just broke rule number 9. So please refer to the rules section. Moderators, if Howard breaks the rule again, he's been warned and you'll be put in the goo.
No, that's okay. I mean, you guys can go ahead. I just wanted to give that feedback and say hello to Dr. Jordan. Thank you.
You're welcome, Howard, to stay and to hang out. And he went back to listening. Dr. Jordan, I found this bird, this little baby bird, and on like the pavement. And I was like, what am I need to save it, right? I don't know how to save a baby bird. So I reached out to a bunch of people to see if they would be willing to, do like a rehabilitation thing. Nobody wanted this bird, this little baby bird, but it was so strong. It was so strong. And if it looked sick or ill, I mean, like it was. I'm gonna PTR how little this thing was. And it looked like it had been. I mean, your opinion, I'd say probably you could tell me, but it looked like it was born within the last 48 hours. Born out of the egg, I mean.
Give them the price on ChatGPT. If anybody else has an answer, they
Well, I mean, the key is feeding it. It's not that it won't be accepted by its parents. It's that it needs to be nourished correctly.
I forget, Dr. Jordan. This is a good subject.
Okay, I'd like to contribute to the tantric muff with a very quick little poem.
What you got, John?
Okay, this is called Like This. This is Rumi. So take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. Those who don't feel this love pulling them like a river, those who don't drink dawn like a cup of spring water, or take in sunset like supper, those who don't want to change, let them sleep. This love is beyond the study of theology, that old trickery and hypocrisy. If you want to improve your mind that way, sleep on. I've given up on my brain. I've torn the cloth to shreds and thrown it away. If you're not completely naked, wrap your beautiful robe of words around you and sleep. Stay together, friends. Don't scatter in sleep. Our friendship is made of being awake. The water wheel accepts water, and turns and gives it away, weeping. That way it stays in the garden, whereas another roundness rolls through a dry riverbed looking for what it thinks it wants. Stay here in the muff, quivering with each moment like a drop of mercury. I was dead, then alive, weeping, then laughing. The power of love came into me, and I became fierce like a lion, then tender like the evening star. He said, "You're not mad enough. You don't belong in this house." I went wild and had to be tied up. He said, "Still not wild enough to stay with us in the muff." I broke through another layer in the muff into full joyness. He said, "It's not enough." I died. He said, "You're a clever little man, full of fantasy and doubting." I plucked out my feathers and became a fool. He said, "Now you're the candle for this assembly in the muff." But I'm no candle. Look, I'm scattered smoke. He said, "You are the shake, the guide, but I'm not a teacher. I have no power." He said, "You already have wings. I cannot give you wings." But I wanted his wings. I felt like some flightless chicken. Then new events said to me, "Don't move. You are in the muff. A sublime generosity is coming toward you." And old love said, "Stay with me in the muff." I said, "I will. You are the fountain of the sun's light. I am a willow, shadow on the ground. You make my raggedness silky. The soul at dawn is like darkened water that slowly begins to say, "Thank you, thank you." Then at sunset again, Venus gradually changes into the moon, and then the whole night sky. This comes of smiling back at your smile. The chess master says nothing other than moving the silent chess piece. That I am part of the ploys of this game makes me amazingly happy in the muff.
Now, what word do something too much for that many times? What was the actual word?
I was just adding, I was pretty much adding it. I wasn't substituting.
Okay, guys.
But those are pretty powerful, aren't they? Rumi is a very, very powerful psychology and wisdom poetry.
You play chess, John?
No, I don't play. I've played many times, but it's been many years since I've spent time playing chess. I would call Clubhouse, the new video game that I play. I've stopped everything else. Clubhouse is, a very fun game because it's a very controlled environment in a way. I am getting on big X stages. However, the toxicity in those rooms are incredible, and it's like rabid Jew hating, like foaming at the mouth Jew hate people nonstop on Jewish people. Jews, nonstop. Jews is the news. News of the Jews. Like, that's the show. News of the Jews. That's all they talk about. Every single other sentence ends with the Jews. And so that type of insanity to me is very difficult to deal with. But I view it as like hyper polarized political communication. And so if you can basically still communicate with the worst people in the world, like that story of the black guy who made friends with the KKK, and then they disbanded because they were like, now we're friends with Hakima. And so he broke up the gang, with love. So I think if you can force love into the script, like kind of like I just did with Rumi there, you can disrupt a lot of these spaces in a way. It's because it's all just a long sequence of words and the delivery of those words. So there's a way to hack these rooms by reading books. That's my theory.
I think my edits to the title, though, have perhaps shadow banned us. I don't know yet.
Hey, I have a question for you. Oh, best friend, this was the little bird that I found, and he was just so strong. And I was so sad because none of the rehabilitators wanted him. They were just like, no, we got enough. It looks like a regular house sparrow. So I couldn't find his nest. I tried. And so, you wouldn't believe it. An angel from, I think it was Facebook, messaged me and was just like, hey, check out this person's rehabilitator. And she's not like, and she's just kind of like a person who knows how to do this type of thing. And I texted her and said, hey, I got this house sparrow, you want it? And then she said, oh, I'm actually, it was an emergency, she's taking care of a doe. A baby doe had just like, I don't know, broken its leg. And anyway, she took it. And then I went to the vet's office, and the vet little bird was able to get, nice,
so profoundly that they had to kill him.
I guess, service,
The churches
nice.
never wanted you to
This
know
lantern fly, I swear it knows who I am, and it is torturing me, it's tempting me, whatever it is. These things are too much. But anyway, I heard that it's still alive, and it's doing great, and I'm so excited, because that's just awesome. Oh, and Mojo, my question, to the last poem you read, who do you think he is? Who is the he?
There could be 1 to 3 people.
Okay.
It could be infinite people. The he is just a placeholder. but you can even invert that. So, but again, this is all like a reconditioning and a reframe. People use these scripts to do therapy for themselves and for other people. So, to try to like pin somebody down, you know, it's really a question of, I think it's just information exchange, you know, what you can pick up from it. Because what I'm trying to do is force the positive. Because in the muff, if you break rule number 9 and you refer to something in your memory from a former rule, or from a former room, you're no longer in the muff. You're not in the now. If you're in the now, you're in the muff.
So who did it mean through your idea when you were reading it? Who was the he? What was the he represented by?
Well, I can just read you more, but I think, you know, part of the problem is asking questions.
It's a problem to ask questions?
That's what a very smart woman told me once as I was trying to get her to kiss me in my car. She said, I feel like the problem is people ask questions.
I think people don't ask enough questions.
No, it's better to read a book than it is to ask a question.
I love books, John, but there's a lot of books out there that this question. All books are not going to be.
No, I know. It's like a clubhouse room. You know, you go into a library. There's a million books. You come into Clown House. There's a million clown rooms, and it's up to you to say, okay, this section over here, these are the high value books. Therefore, these are the high value conversations. You know, in Clown House, in the content. So, in the muff, you will find intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, and comprehension.
But your premise that this is like, I don't entirely understand the Clown House label or moniker, because like when I came on here on this app, I don't know, 12 years ago, I thought I had no expectations that this was going to be, that if the intellectualism would prevail in any way. Not that I'm calling myself an intellectual, I just, like, my expectations were these would just be random. I don't know.
It's funny you said that.
So I can't think.
It's funny when you said that, because I was thinking earlier that I think Ben was asking John, I forgot what you asked, but it's like what you want, John, is like you want Clubhouse to be the way you want it to be, which is fine. Like I would like to be way more intellectual, so it's like because this is not the way you see it. You see it as a Clown House. But like Dr. Jordan said, like I came up here with no expectations, like whatever the fuck it is, it is. And that's what it became. But I'm not critiquing you. I'm just saying I think that's why act the way you act and see the way you see it, because it's not what you expected.
Well, what I'm trying to do is subversively make a point that we all share common and universal truths, which supersede anybody's individual perspective. So it's a little bit like reverse engineering identity itself, you know, because I'm about to update my PTR with a clown, and the clown is basically a magician or the fool, which is the first step, you know, in I guess you could say transcending the void. So I'm playing a game, you know, as you are playing a game, but I'm trying to, in a way, one up you in the game preemptively. And you just don't know it, but there are preconditions to this game because there are rules of communication, or you could say laws of communication. And I think the more that you understand the technical aspects of communication, the more effective you'll be in your word choice or your thoughts. Because you want to basically save time and kill two birds with one stone in all your communication. And the fact that I film all of Clubhouse, I've created this like parallel mirror of Clubhouse across multiple platforms. I don't know. It could be a me problem, but I think I've like basically manipulated a lot of people in a way that they're uncomfortable with. And I have forced them into this parallel game that they involuntarily joined up, and are doing as every time they come on here and speak because everything I'm recording it all. So, there's a lot of new videos out on the YouTube from the past 48 hours and really from the past 2 weeks. So, for the past 48 hours, I have spent many hours. I have put thousands of videos from private to unlisted, and now they're all public. So, there's a lot of videos of Clubhouse out right now of all the drama from the past 2 weeks. And, it's all on YouTube.
I do think you pissed a lot of people off with recording. They wanted to come on. Excuse me. They want to come in and say anything they want to say, just be stupid, silly, racist, whatever they want to be. By you recording that, they feel limited, like you done fucked it up for them. Like they came here to be ignorant, but your recordings may hold them accountable one day, so they pissed off at you about it. But I look at that, that's their problem, though, because if you want to be racist, just be racist and stand on that shit. Don't hide it. Be who you are.
Well, unless I have actually used your legal name in a YouTube video, in my opinion, you're totally anonymous because nobody who watches this in India or Singapore or Indonesia or, like, no, people who are on YouTube aren't going to, they don't care who you are. In fact, they just want to click the fuck away. They don't want to listen to your, drama, your drama show. So, 100%. Yeah. See, the thing is, they hate me personally because they know that, like, I've, essentially replatformed them for all time unless they can get those YouTube accounts deleted. And there's not just one, there's like at least 10 people that would probably prefer that I was deleted and deplatformed. But I don't think you can actually achieve any power in this game unless you're kind of doing what I'm doing, which is basically just live streaming and recording what I'm listening to. And so I'm just saying there's a great advantage in recording what you listen to. And if you really think about it, it doesn't really take any time or effort to record what you listen to. So I'm just saying that if you've never experimented with recording everything you're listening to, you should try it and see how it, changes the game for you.
I would just like to make an announcement. Pepe and the Whole White America House were just clipped from Clubhouse.
They were clipped again?
They removed the whole house.
The whole house, wow.
The whole house is all gone.
I think that's uncalled for. Like, I'm no fan of Pepe, but as far as I know, he was reading like from articles. I don't see why that was necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very rare that you actually see Clubhouse in the whole house. I'm just really kind of shocked.
It was funny. I was in the room yesterday in his room, and he had I see Pepe as a fucking racist, and people got their own opinion, but he had a couple black dudes in there just like his bodyguards, like attacking people that say something about Pepe. If you disagree with KK, one dude was going in Jay room attacking Jay because of Pepe. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, why do y'all? That shit was weird. Like, he had his own little pit bull. There was like 3 black dudes. It was fucking crazy to me.
Well, Pepe also got clipped, it appears, and so I am sure right now Pepe is at home just shaking, going, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it.
I just got a friend request from another Pepe PayPal just about 10 minutes ago, so maybe he already got it.
Well, I just looked for that account. Maybe, is he still here?
So I have a question to change
follow Dennis Prager at all?
No.
I know who he is. I haven't saw him in a while.
I mean, I thought he was like nuts and like blah blah blah. I'm not on his side of the aisle, but I listened to a talk that he gave at St. Petersburg College in Tampa, St. Petersburg, St. Pete, Florida, and this guy, it was pretty impressive. There weren't really politics, but I'd like to find out what I can if they're commenting in the section I can't read. But Dennis Prager is very interesting, and it was a great speech. So.
Well, what did he say that was interesting to you?
Well, he wrote a book about happiness, and so he's a conservative talk radio host. He was born a modern Orthodox Jew, or born into modern Orthodoxy, and he has this whole concept about like being happy. Well, first of all, he was ahead of his time with regard to Hamas and Israel because, well, so were others, but he was like, how can you be one country? How can Israel not be the underdog when they're surrounded by Arab countries? Now, I'm not endorsing the war and what's happened to Palestinian civilians, blah, 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 but it was almost like he knew this was coming. Sorry, I'm not being very articulate because I'm driving at the same time here, but anyways, I'll try and share the YouTube when I get a chance, but if anyone has feedback about Dennis Prager, I'd be very interested. Basically, his premise is that if you're happy, you make other people around you happy. It was hilarious. He's like, two moody people cannot get married. A moody person and a non-moody person can get married. A non-moody and a non-moody can get married, but two moody people know better than to marry each other. And it was just kind of a funny, it was kind of a funny conversation about happiness and the impact of happiness on the world. But the truth of the matter, and he wrote a best-selling book. Other books have been about Israel, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know much about him. Now, he's had like a terrible accident, and he's now like a quadriplegic, but very interesting guy.
So going back to what Serendipity just announced, if you look at that X post I made last night because I was live streaming Pepe's room, and this video on X has gotten a lot of views, or it's a link to YouTube, but I definitely live streamed Pepe last night. Then he ended it as I was out last night, because when I'm out on a Saturday night or a Friday night and I look at my live stream back at home, if somebody's playing Taylor Swift and they nuke my live streams, like that makes my life. It doesn't change anything. It's annoying because I like to know that I'm killing two birds with one stone. Hacker's got some harsh words of criticism in the chat. Wow, Hacker. I don't know where Hacker went, but... So anyways, what's everybody doing the rest of the day? Welcome to In the Muff, Joe B. This is Rough, Thick, Poetic, Tantric, Puffy Muff. And this is Clown Mojo. Mojo the Clown. Sometimes I go by the name Point. Everybody hates me because I'm on TV. You're all just a bunch of stupid dummies. Clown Mojo didn't want it to be this way. Mojo the Clown wanted everybody to be happy, but they're just...
Dr. J is here. Is Dr. J talking?
No, this is Clown Mojo. Mojo the Clown.
Joby, you're on mute if you're saying something. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great Sunday. Mojo the Clown wants you all to know he's praying for your health, your wealth, your love, your peace of mind, your happiness, and your strength. I hope you find more flexibility, more courage, more splendor, more equanimity. But stop hating me just because I'm on TV, you big stupid dummies.
So, Congressman, who objected? Like, how much audio did you get of the drama that unfolded?
Oh, a lot, because I film it all on 13 different phones. So, and because I'm anonymous, I catch it all. So there's nothing that I don't, record, and I'm literally here 18 hours a day recording.
What are some of the highlights that would be like clubhouse highlights that people would get, like, or might shock people?
I don't think anything really. I think people who have never heard this would just say, "What are these people arguing about and screaming about?" People in the comments are always regularly like, "What is this? This is just a bunch of people screaming. They can't understand the context because there's too much background network between the speakers that random people who come across the videos, they say, I don't understand this. Like, this is insane. Like, what is all this?" They can't figure out the context or who the speakers are, because it's like walking in on a play and not knowing the name of the play or anything. But I think that's okay, and I think it's art. So I'm just saying I've captured people's artistic endeavors, and it's unfortunate that they're also not capturing their artistic endeavor, because I think they're losing all their time. Like, why would you come on here and create all this art but not have a product after you create it? It just disappears. So replatforming it is the way to go.
Well, this is where I differ a bit. I mean, it's like, where's the productivity in necessarily watching a TV show that's like mindless, right? Like, my question is, are you building more neural connections, and maybe not, by engaging in conversation late at night, when the benefits of engagement versus watching like a mindless TV show? And maybe you could argue the TV show is much more productive use of time, but I'm not so sure that, like, people who have, are home at work trying to regulate their emotions, they're sitting there being entertained. I mean, it's entertainment, I guess is what I'm getting at. It's entertainment that you're engaging with, not unlike video games.
Well, if I were to go to the casino and play a slot machine, I would record myself playing the slot machine, because I want to, I'm paying to have that experience, but I also want to capture it with a camera. So I'm just saying, El Normo's here, who is a videographer, filmmaker. I think he would agree with me. It's better to kill two birds with one stone than just, kill no birds or one bird.
Hi, El Normo. Sorry, I'm driving, so I didn't see you come in.
Hi there. I just arrived. It's okay. Nice to see everybody.
Hey, El Normo. Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday.
Dr. J, we're all in the middle of a conversation. I'm sorry, I was on the phone. I have a question.
No, go ahead. I'm driving, so I'm not really focused on driving, but I can answer the question.
I was encouraged to ask you to describe the nature of narcissistic love bombing.
Okay, well, first of all, keep in mind I'm not a clinical expert, but narcissistic love bombing is when really a sociopath or narcissist or someone with a cluster B personality disorder is trying, or anyone is trying to engage a person and use charisma and charm to make them feel like they're the best
Okay. All right, that's easy enough.
Yeah. I mean, you can love bomb something like a manager, a hiring manager can love bomb someone, and then they kind of pedestalize them, and then they eventually turn on them.
Okay. That's the nature of it, though, as far as like with a narcissist engaging in that type of behavior, is that there's an ultimate end goal, correct?
Yeah. I mean, and they do it subconsciously. I mean, it's not. I don't think that it's like, okay, I'm going to plan this long game out. It's part of their it's the cognitive empathy, I think, where cognitive empathy versus emotional empathy. Cognitive empathy is being able to read people really well and take advantage of it. Emotional empathy is really feeling empathy. So
right.
This is why a sociopath, for example, is so charming that you want to be best friends or lovers with them, I suppose, upon meeting them.
Well,
okay.
I think if you're a gentleman and you're intelligent or sophisticated, because it goes both ways, Dr. Jordan. A lot of women are sociopathic psychopaths. So that,
100%.
yeah. So what do you think is the alpha predator then? The, super sophisticated woman or the super sophisticated man? I mean, who is the actual apex predator?
Well, in my experience, the narcissistic woman is not going to harbor the traits of a man. They're going to be the damsel in distress, bringing out their femininity, their allure, making them very attractive, like just innocent, needy, blah blah blah, all the things that might draw in someone who wants to use their masculine energy, and then suddenly you find out they're very manipulative. Use that woman, the woman who killed her kids because she married that guy in the cult up in Idaho. Daybell, is it, or is that a different name? Yeah, the Daybell, whatever.
Yeah.
Woman. She was an example of like she would flirt with everything that moved and didn't, and
the point is they're inflating the currency, and it's just you can go to usbank.org and study all these figures at the Treasury API, Thomas Massey. So.
Yeah. Hey, if I could use it, I would.
Dr. Jordan, I know you work in consulting and professional rebranding. I'm wondering if Mojo the Clown could help you rebrand your professionalism, because I want to say that Pepe, in all of his rooms, and other people on this app are being held accountable, and essentially they've tried to do a rebrand themselves or do credibility or reputation management. So I'm just wondering, Dr. Jordan, if you would be willing to come to Chicago to knock on doors with the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover, and I want to do a full rebrand with you. I want to put you in a suit and a tie, maybe a bow tie with some cool glasses, take some photos. I think we could make you the most interesting man in the world, Dr. Jordan.
What? I mean, what purpose am I serving? Rebranding you? What? I don't understand.
No, it's basically a swap, exchange of services. I professionally rebrand you and reproduce the Dr. Jordan show, and you help produce the, campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover.
Well, I do think you have potential. Like, I mean, you have your alter egos. I mean, you do have potential to be, well, you could do stand-up, quite frankly, but yeah, I don't.
Well, stand-up's not.
That's a polite decline, John.
Oh, I get it. It's a play. Well, I'm just saying. I'm Dr. Jordan. I'm just saying I could, see the point is I have many friends who when I say show me your Hinge account, show me your Bumble account, and I analyze how they're marketing themselves on a dating profile. That's basically what I'm pointing at is that if you use a third party to produce your show, it looks a lot better than the way you would create it. So for the third party looker who's looking at your publishing, when somebody else does it for you, it's gonna have a much higher, ROI than if you try to do it
No,
yourself.
I agree. I think the paradox though is that you think people on Clubhouse are wasting their time, whereas you're kind of wasting. Well, my impression is you're wasting your talent a bit because you could be like, with all this time you're doing this recording, you could be right. I mean, you could be pitching stand up. You could be doing stand up work.
No, I think I'm using it the same way that other people are using it in the same way as if we were all in a casino and we were all playing a slot machine. I just happen to be live streaming myself.
What part you missing? Like you are using like other people, but what he's saying and what I agree with, you have a talent that is being wasted. Most people don't have that talent that they're wasting it. Like he's saying, you have a talent that you are wasting, and most people like I don't have a talent I'm wasting, and most people don't. But I think that's what he's saying that you right now.
Right.
Well, I just want to push back against one thing. You say that I claim that everybody's wasting their time here. I'm merely trying to play a very subversive game by suggesting that because that's the one-upmanship game. And I'm trying to point that out to people that people are chronically playing the one-upmanship game linguistically. But that's the way I'm playing it. And so what I'm trying to say is.
Let me back up for a second. Let me interrupt just for a moment. So I do this, I've been doing these apps where you meet people in real life because in LA, people are so scattered that there's these in real life, there's this app called Time Left, right? You meet people, you meet total strangers for networking or whatever in real life every week, right? And it just expands my network a little bit because in LA it's kind of, there's so many people, it's actually hard to just find community, right? And I've lived here 3 times. So my thing is that, like, I still keep coming back to Clubhouse because whether you see it or not, I find really interesting people on Clubhouse. Like, the people that I meet in real life, aside from friends I already have, I mean, there's not, like, there's only a few characters that are really intriguing. And, it's funny because in real life, people are also guarded, right? Whereas in Clubhouse, you get to know people really fast. And, there's chemistry that's built, right? And, like, that to me is a remarkable thing about social audio. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Well, it's a word game, and so if you like words and you're a wordsmith, you can play a very subversive game on this app because gaslighting becomes an art form and gaslighting becomes the norm. So if you really want to play a far out game linguistically in a safe space and not get punched in the face and have a bloody nose at the end of the night, this is the place for those types of people that like to play that game.
Right, totally. But I think what you're finding is that you're frustrated that maybe the intellect, like you haven't maybe met your intellect on here, and maybe it's frustrating for you.
No. Reading a book here, to me, I realize that after you read so many books, like intellect maxes out, intelligence maxes out. And so it becomes a little bit like an organizing effort versus trying to meet your intellect or to be intellectual, because then it becomes a little bit like poker, liar's poker. So it takes on a bluffing element. And I'm just saying that if you want to achieve some type of if you want to achieve financial success, it is like a gray zone. Is it legal? Is it illegal? Because being in the publishing industry or the filmmaking industry can cause a lot of conflict. And so
Well, let me say this. Maybe you're disappointed. Like, for example, I forgot exactly what. If you like, I appreciate your sarcasm. Some people are some people, like, you've done some things that I didn't like, right? That I didn't appreciate, but I do appreciate your humor. Your sarcasm goes a long way, and people who don't appreciate your sarcasm, regardless of their intellect, will never quite get you, right? So, it's like, Hikima and I get you. Whether we agree with everything you say may be a different thing, but like, the humor, like, there's an art for there's to be able to appreciate you takes, maybe it's an acquired taste, right? And like, I think you find that you plateau here, you plateau out because you're like, you know, you're
no,
not
there's
getting.
no plateau in art.
I don't
It's
know.
infinite. And Moose down there is just a critic. And Moose is, I gotta say, you're kind of a one-trick pony too, Dr. Jordan. So I mean, I'm gonna toss everything you just said to me back at you now and say you are not changing. You are not dynamic enough. You are not being creative enough. There's an infinite variety of creative aspects to art, and all I'm saying is, even when you're being political, whether it's genuine or whether it's performative, that is still art. And so
Okay, well, let me say one thing. If I had started out on this app with a pseudonym, I very much could have turned more into I may have adopted your trolling style, because there's a part of me that can be extremely sarcastic and obnoxious, right? And I just don't, I first of all, I don't like to, I'm trying to move away from that in my spiritual journey. Don't smile. And so for me, like, I don't do that because I'm using my real information, etc., and I'm trying to be pretty authentic. So, but I could totally see that had I adopted a pseudonym, I could be more in your place. And
Well, it's not about
so,
me, it's about your self development, because a lot of people who like to present themselves as being the authority or being credible are still always working on self development, because ego is superficial no matter how you define it. So let me ask you a question. Is the ego superficial?
well, of course, but I also don't. I'm not an expert. I don't think of myself as an expert in any way. Did I spend a lot of time getting educated in certain fields? Yeah, but unfortunately, that's been um, what's the word? There's a distortion in how people see me versus how I see myself. Anyone who started out in this app using credentials was kind of targeted, and maybe that was a mistake. But I really take it in, I really don't take myself that seriously. Um, but
Well, you should take
uh,
yourself seriously. The thing is, everyone can be everything if they want to be. Meaning, you can be a comedian, you can be a lawyer, you can be a dentist, you can be a heart surgeon. You can take on any role in society. I'm just saying that on Clubhouse, especially if it's anonymous, you do have the freedom to be truly creative. And I think people
well,
do, fulfill that desire on this app.
so for the benefit of the group, the room, why don't you tell people, maybe define id, super ego, and ego, because it would even help me to hear your perspective on it.
Well, it's all the biggest ego trip going is thinking that you have an ego. There is no ego. There is no id and there is no superego. Those are all concepts. The material objective world is your cell phone and your house and your clothing and your food supply. That's reality. Not this word game that we play, which we take so literally. You can go to a movie theater and your brain runs what you're watching as if it's real, as if you're really experiencing it. That's the power of the visual medium of movies and films.
Have you read the book The Untethered Soul?
Are you projecting? No, I've never read it.
No. I'm reading it now, but it's what you're talking about. Go ahead, sorry. I mean, I think that, yeah, I think you are an untapped, I think you are an untapped comical genius. I don't want to say you're spinning your wheels, but you might be getting, you might elevate your,
Well, what? Don't just tell me, show me. Be my producer. Be my talent agent. You know, fulfill your role.
I will pitch you to some comic, some shows in Chicago, if you want to.
Pitch me as Congressman John. That's my shtick. He's a congressman.
Okay. It's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I will. I'll send you a contract.
I will wear a suit. I'll put a little American flag on my lapel. I'll wear my American Legion, cap, and I will do the most outrageous congressman shtick you've ever seen. People will say, you know what?
Why don't you call yourself MAGA John? Like maybe a rebranding requires. I mean, Congressman John is funny, but you'll get more edge with like maybe you use a couple, right? Congressman John, MAGA John. See what? Not that you're MAGA, but you're poking fun at it. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
motivation.
Yeah, I mean, I think wearing a suit and wearing a MAGA hat and doing stand-up comedy is the shtick. So if you can pitch me, I've got a lot of videos on YouTube of me wearing a MAGA hat, and so the cool thing about YouTube is whenever I think that there's a good time, it's called clips. So when you're live, you create a 49, 59-second clip now. They lowered it from 5 minutes to 3 minutes down to 49 seconds now. So it creates it as a short on YouTube, and I have thousands of these new shorts from the past 2 weeks. Let me send you, just click my profile. Click my profile and view some YouTube links later.
So if I put your podcast on I gotta put you on IMDb. So what I need to do is put you on IMDb, which I can do. We can talk about this, but put you on IMDb. Then you've got to upload your content. So you create a bit of a reel so that we can send that out. And I gotta figure out how to. So you want to have a biography where you have like so John Kitover goes under the pseudonym Congressman John or whatever. But remember, you're going to be attached to that for a while because it's not easy to change your bio on these things. So, but this is one way to start promoting you.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's do that. I'll get the IMDb page going if I can, or if I have to be connected to you because you're the pro or whatever it is.
Well, have you been on podcasts or do you?
I was.
Have you been on your own?
I was just on a good one. It's called the Prairie Report, and it's in my profile. Click on my profile, click my links, and then at the bottom it says 45-minute podcast with John Kitover. That's my first official press for the campaign.
Okay, I'll look at it.
It's a 45-minute interview where I talk about.
Who's the host?
His name is George Deinhardt.
Okay.
He's got a newspaper in Illinois called the Prairie Report.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
He has no subscribers on YouTube, and he just republished the second version of our interview, and he just labeled it Kitover. I don't know. He's probably working on it.
Well, he doesn't really need subscribers, but he does need.
He's a new YouTuber, but my point is, he conducted a professional interview with me for an hour, and then he removed, yeah, he removed all of the filler words. I don't know how he did it, but he used Zoom, and so there might be a functionality in Zoom to remove all the uhs and ahs and I think and you know and all the filler words.
Okay.
But it's a very good compression of my political opinions and philosophical economic opinions. So I thought it was a very good piece for me because it was the first time that it was a long form Q&A with me where I got to be political because it's a political video about attacking Darren LaHood and defeating Darren LaHood. So
what I do think is that the parody, the satire, like there's something really there for you as a brand to there's never been a better time to kind of make fun of politicians. So and the ambiguity that's created by people not knowing if you're serious or not about running for office is kind of also interesting.
Yeah, it is a double entendre or even a triple entendre. Because the thing is, I have my own catalog and library now, like 20,000 YouTube videos, 20,000 Instagram videos, 200,000 X posts. Like I have a lot of, you could call it baggage with me, but at least I have pre-existing platforms with a lot of content. So if you just,
the thing is, for the pitching purposes, your content needs to be like a reel. We need to take highlights. So because these people aren't gonna. This is what I tell all my clients: is the booking producers don't dive very deep. They Google someone, they want to see how prominently they come up. Like for example, they generate a Google Knowledge Panel or an IMDb or Wikipedia pops up, and they kind of want to. Like they're not diving deep enough, unfortunately. So is even though you have all this content, which is great, you really we need to that can be used later, but for the getting your foot in the door is something that really sells. Like,
yeah, I get it.
really,
It's a crapshoot, and time is limited. I mean, look at Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live. Where is he? Where's Patrick Swayze? I'm saying we got time limits for success in terms of show business. So I would just encourage you to go to YouTube and type in Dr. Jordan Shaw Clubhouse and see what you find and let me know what you think.
Well, I hope you would. Maybe the trade-off is that you remove that content or remove my tag.
Well, you can get whatever you want removed by complaining, and I would be happy to remove, any keywords. So the problem is I'd have to do that work. But what I'm asking for you to do is say, hey, John, here's my cell phone number, or you text me and tell me what you want removed or changed. And my telephone number is, I could put it in the chat, but, let me message to you. Or
I'm driving right now. But you can talk later.
Yeah, I'm gonna text you my cell phone, and so when we have time to actually delete or change whatever videos I have of you from Clubhouse that you want removed and changed, because I'm more than happy to delete them, or I would prefer to just change the title so it's not associated with you, because I like if you like the historical aspect of the work, but. Let me, because I want to help with your reputation management, and I hope that you want to help me with my reputation management.
Okay.
So Moose has returned. Moose is a liberal Democrat cuck. He's easily triggered. He creates. Well, he creates John Kitover struggle session rooms, so I just hope he could come up and maybe center me a little bit. Because I do like the John Kitover struggle session rooms. I hate to say that.
You're an attention whore.
Maybe I'm an attention whore. Maybe I'm susceptible to flattery. But this is the fun thing about this app. I know. I'm just trying to create some controversy with him, not with you, though, Serendipity.
Moose is good people?
Well, he says a lot of negative things about the campaign. I wasn't allowed to respond to him yesterday. I'm hoping now maybe I could get my responses in. But if he's too cowardly of a man and he only likes to talk his shit when he can't be talked back to, I understand. That's what cowards do.
The other thing that you could assemble is that there are some really obviously quirky people on the app that might be good sidekicks for you, right? Like maybe you don't
like
need
Moose?
Well, Moose is interesting. I don't know that Moose wants to be a sidekick, but okay. Like for example, Agent, or Kyle. I mean, or Jason Dusick.
No. Listen, Mojo was going to set up an interview with Lou Fax. Those types of Q&As would be interesting because if I, I'm not going to troll. I'm going to be very professional in the communication. So I'm not going to be insulting, degrading, or even controversial in any kind of interviews with anybody who has an audience. I mean, I just want to stick to the facts. But, Moose doesn't stick to the facts. He slanders me, he libels me, he defames me. Moose, how do you defend yourself?
Actually, John, you know what? I was a little heated yesterday, and I owe you an apology. It is not for me. I called you a fraud. That is not for me to say, to make that judgment. If you are actually running for Congress, cool. If you're not, cool. At the end of the day, what I took issue was with someone who might be running for Congress and then reporting 600 rooms on Clubhouse. It just doesn't seem like the best, use of one's time, considering the amount of time and energy and resources, I'm sure that is required to run for such a high office. So that's a legit apology. It's not for, I was out of pocket to call you a fraud. That is not for me to say. It is, you're incredibly irritating. And I do think you center yourself a wee bit too much. But hey, it's Clubhouse. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if this is just, there are several people out here saying that you officially declared this whole campaign as a troll. Cool. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I would just suggest looking into what is really the reason. It doesn't sound like you're monetizing. Like, what is the burning desire to record so many rooms and then replay them on YouTube? That's a legit question.
Because it costs me nothing to do. It's artwork. And I am an artist, a filmmaker, a videographer, a politician, a patriot, and I'm an American. And you're just an old junky payphone.
Hey, now, Moose came up here and he took the bigger road. He apologized.
Yeah, and he followed it up with an insult. It wasn't a genuine apology. He said, but you're a troll and you're a loser and you suck. That's what he said. It's an insincere apology. And I'm just going to say, you're nothing but an old junky payphone.
We don't get to dictate how people apologize. And some are certainly better at it than others. But you know what? Moose made a good
Mojo the Clown has feelings too. Mojo the Clown, when you prick Mojo, he bleeds. When you make fun of Mojo, he cries. Mojo is a man. Now you're punching bag, Moose. If you keep harassing the campaign, I'll be forced to take legal action against you in the same way I've been forced to take legal action against others. You hate me? You hate me because I'm on television.
Who's lesser of a man? You're going into your alter ego here. It's just wild. I'm good. Everyone's heard it. I'm good.
You're just a junkie payphone. And Mojo the Clown has feelings, Moose.
Moose is good people.
Well, you were correct that one candidate who wanted to do the signature circulation for the petitions, I did want to tell him immediately, FYI, before we proceed, this phone call is being recorded. And it took me, I don't know, minute, 2 minutes, whatever, to get to that point. But that's because I didn't want to interrupt, but I agree that was an F up of the campaign. But, we have moved on because he texted us that everybody here is spamming and wasting time, and he declined to do any work. But I will tell you that I think I am going to absolutely have to myself go to Rockford and Peoria and get a lot of signatures over the next couple weeks. So it's a drive, from Chicago to Peoria is a drive, and I'm, gonna get a cheap motel and get signatures. But before I drive out there, I have signs that have been printed up thanking all the clubhouse donors using their profile names, not their real legal names. So there's another artistic element to this campaign. Signs, business cards, flyers, and flags as we go on the road to get the signatures to defeat Darren LaHood.
Is the guy that you interviewed for the job from Craigslist, is he helping you out? Is he working with you?
No, he moved on to another campaign. That's the greatest thing about working with the campaign, is that if wherever we depart, because every relationship has a beginning and an end, most people go on to bigger and better things once they work with Mojo the Clown.
So he's helping LaHood.
I'm not sure. A lot of people are working with LaHood because they understand what my campaign is about, and they want to keep kicking the can down the road and printing $2 trillion a year that they shouldn't be otherwise allowed to. If we had a fair and budget balanced act and we weren't spending $2 trillion a year that we don't collect, this is exactly why they want me to shut up, because they want to keep the skim, they want to keep the inflation, and they want to keep scamming us. This is your debt. This is your tax. You're going to have to pay it back. I'm trying to prevent people from giving you unassumed liabilities that you didn't vote for. That's what my campaign is pushing. A lot of people don't think the budget is an interesting thing or the deficit is an interesting thing. To me, it's the only thing that matters because it's perpetuating all of this bullshit. So stop the skim, stop the scam, crush the can. You're just an old payphone, though. What do you know, Moose?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get repaired. I think a high school teacher brought in like a payphone or parts of a payphone to her class, and nobody in the classroom knew what it was.
Well, in the muff, using your fingers in a swirling fashion and sticking it in a hole is a requisite.
Yeah, it's true. The mechanics of the payphone do seem quite conducive to in the muff.
Most people are unaware, though, of just how much bacteria there is when you put the headset next to your face.
The headset of the muff or the phone?
The phone, in the muff.
Can you make a long distance call in the muff?
Let's find out. Operator. Yes, this is in the muff operator. I'd like to make a collect call to Serendipity.
Looks like she's not accepting the charges, John. Try again.
Operator.
And
Try Yakima.
Paging Dr. Beeper. I think that's from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. There's like a scene where he was like playing a doctor. Paging Dr. Beeper. It's also from Caddyshack. All right, so this has been Rough, Thick, Poetic, Tantric, Puffy Muff. Many of you are unaware of what Puffy Muff in the muff is. It's thick, it's poetic, it's tantric. Sometimes it's rough. Okay, now that this room is winding down, we're going to help relax the room by reading some Bible flashcards in the muff. Here we go. Here are your random Bible flashcards for the day.
Akima.
Whoever exalts himself will be humbled. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. For you, O Lord, are my hope, my trust, O Lord, from my youth. Be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. I will both lie down in peace and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. God saved us, not because of the righteous things we had done, but because of his mercy. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all you who hope in the Lord. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Know that wisdom is such to your soul. If you find it, there will be a future, and your hope will not be cut off. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Be happy, yes, leap for joy, for a great reward awaits you in the muff. Anything is possible if a person believes. Your faith has saved you. Go in peace into the muff. My Father's will is that everyone who looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. It is not that we think we are qualified to do anything on our own. Our qualification comes from God. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Here's what I want you to do. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life and clown house and place it before God as an offering in the muff. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him in the muff. May the Lord of peace himself give you his peace at all times and in every situation. The Lord be with you. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. Oh, that's what I call an in the muff takeover. All right, everybody, that's been another exciting episode of Clown House.
Speaking of math, I do want to ask about a New York Times investigation showing that Democrats are losing registered voters in all 30 states that track party registration. We're putting on the screen the data. It shows altogether Democrats have lost 2.1 million voters. Republicans have gained 2.4 million. That's a deficit that you have of 4.5 million voters. Why are voters turning away from your party? What is the problem?
Most of that activity, as I understand it, has occurred in Florida and Texas. And certainly it is the case that nationally we're going to have to invest more in these two red states. At the end of the day, it's also going to be important for us to continue to make clear to the American people what we stand for as Democrats. We believe in a strong floor and no ceiling. In this country, you work hard, you play by the rules. There should be no ceiling as to what success you can accomplish for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, and your community. At the same period of time, we do, as Democrats, believe in a strong floor. That's a strong floor that is anchored in Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, veterans benefits, nutritional assistance, and the Affordable Care Act. The things that Republicans are actually trying to detonate. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats.